Send it up to Brendo at the big desk. Ciao, guys.
Yeah, the best part, there's still one more day to go in this week, guys. What a wild ride it has been after we go back to the upside yesterday. Right back down and then some today. We're breaking through significant support levels to the downside. In fact, the market kind of chopping around here, trying to form a bottom anyways for the NASDAQ and S&P. Here's a look at how things are shaping up with 2 hours to go here this afternoon. 2.8% for the S&P there, 2.25% for the Dow. We got to 4. I saw a 4.01 print there for the NASDAQ, back to 3.8 right now. Ouch. 1.8 for the TSX here in Toronto, 1.37 for crude oil. Came off pretty hard there as the selling in equities, I noticed, was accelerating. The selling in the oil market was also accelerating, a full percent for both Bitcoin and Ethereum to the downside as well. A very red board to show you this afternoon. It's all about tech right now. Obviously, if you missed it this morning, we get a hotter than expected GDP number. Obviously pointing to underlying strength in the overall economy that could mean higher rates for longer coming from the Fed. Industrials also downside, including all of the travel names getting some recession jitters. I saw somebody write today. AAL down 5.25%. UAL not far behind, right beside it there, 4% to the downside for UAL. All the travel names, casinos, hotels, all downside though. There's the cruise lines up there. CCL, it was down 10%, now 9.25% to the downside. Tesla, yeah, we tagged 10% there as well. Unbelievable move for Tesla. It felt a lot like there was some people getting liquidated to the downside there as things were accelerating. 7% for GM. Look at energy as well. APA, 6% to the downside today. Unbelievable move for some of the oil producers. That is a pretty ugly board. Hope your afternoon's going a little bit better than the way that board looks right now, because it's been a tough one. 2.7 for the S&P as we come back to 3.7 for the NASDAQ as well. We'll get into a little bit of a look back as to what was available as far as opportunities go this morning. We had that crazy move for AMC and APE. We'll talk about that coming up, what that means going forward for both. We'll talk about Tesla, obviously, and keep an eye on it. With a couple of hours to go, Neil's going to lead the way this afternoon and talk about one of his trades from this morning.
Your trade of the day here brought to you by Day Trade the World as always. I wish I could say it was Tesla short at basically any price that you want, but AMC, APE, there was big news this morning. There's going to be a reverse split and then a transformation of the APE shares from one class to another. And you'll see the reaction of the stocks here. So, APE ends up going, usually I'll go higher time frame for one, but this is a pure scalp trade. So a little easier to just give you an idea of the lay of the land. When the news dropped, you had an initial massive boom to the upside in APE. A corresponding, hey, we are diluting, so let's go to the downside. It's not a good thing when you do a reverse split, generally speaking. And then we go to the downside on AMC. Now, if you catch the first move, fantastic. Shawn had the long in front of a buck. I believe it was about 105, 110 on APE. That's a great long. Once it was the retracement trade, it was where are the buyers and sellers coming in a liquidity vacuum. So no liquidity all the way in here. This is pre-market, like 8:30 in the morning, and then suddenly the buyers step in at about 380. Now, 4 is a pretty good psychological level, and you're going to see right here all the activity on the $4 range. So essentially what would happen is as it approached 4, there were large buyers on the bid, 97, 98. It would get above 401, 402, come back down. The buyers would reestablish. The second I was able to notice that, it's scalp, take a breakout, just get in and out as fast as possible. It then starts challenging lower. This is where it gets pretty interesting. Keep calm. Focus on one thing. I'm just only looking at the tape in level 2 with another break of that $4 level and put in a bit of a higher low. Now, right here, once we reclaimed 4, about 10 minutes after this had happened, that's when it got really strong above that level. So decided if the size shows up again, I'm going to go for the long trade. Now, there's one mistake that obviously gets made. You'll see exactly what happened. Is the way that it worked. I'm just literally offering as it goes up. Anybody stacks in the offer, join. And then it goes up to about 420 and pure explosion to the high. Did not hold on to enough shares, no question about it, because I'm looking for the 4.25. I'm like, yeah, that's probably good enough. It's bad news. Stock's going to come down at some point. It goes all the way up to 450. Get the wick out. Thankfully, when we see it reject 450, just jump out of the trade to be sure. I do eventually start shorting it. One breakdown that I instantly was like, no, do not want to be shorting it this low. It looks like it's trending to the upside. Could have gone long, but I just aborted the short at least. But then once it started rejecting these highs, I liked that halt price. So it halts here to the upside at 460 and then rejects the high. And that's a setup that I'm generally a pretty big fan of. Like, you halt to the upside on bad news, you get a consolidation, reject the top, short underneath, but it couldn't break VWAP. When it retests the halt price, I short that price again, can't break VWAP. Well, when you don't break the trend to the upside and then you break that channel, what am I going to do? I'm going to go long when it breaks this top, which is that same halt resistance. Scalp it to the previous high at 480, which happened to be a decent level. If you pop the 15-minute chart up, you'll see last week 480 a pretty good level, or this week 4880 a good level. Then it does a capitulation candle on me and I get all of it out. The lesson here is when there's flash news, if you miss that first move, you've got to go into mode of finding out where their liquidity is going to be. It was pretty obvious if you're watching that it was at $4, just a matter of which direction you want to play. I like the long off that level. Once it halted, then it set up another trade, both short off the halt price, and then long when it breached it. On a day where the market has been just basically trending down, this was giving you some more traditional scalp, directional momentum trading if you didn't happen to have just the flush all day long in major tech stocks. So there's your trade of the day, brought to you as always by Day Trade the World. It's AMC.
And a big move down overall for the market, a big move up for a couple of individual names. We'll talk about AMC and AP here a little bit more. I was trying to find a note here on the overall market that I saw go by. Yeah, I mean, it was all about economic data this morning, but we'll touch on a few things here, including the watch list. If you haven't done so, make sure you grab that every single day, absolutely free for you, every single morning before we come on at 8:30. All you need is an email address, guys. Use that link. Q3 GDP comes out hotter than expected this morning, and that kind of kicked off the selling right at 8:30. We also got Q3 PCE as well. That was also to the upside. Keep in mind, there's a November PCE number that's coming tomorrow that could add to this if it comes in the wrong direction. But that GDP number is stronger than expected. I think a lot of people were expecting it to not be and be in the right direction to support this narrative from the Fed that we've had over the past couple of months. I wanted to show you this. You heard the guys in the midday talking a little bit about yields. Yeah, they're not really doing a heck of a lot. Yes, there was a move up, but this is the 2-year right now. This is an hourly chart, so this is essentially today. But if you go back over the week, we had the big move down and then just kind of back and forth, chopping around. Dollar is really strong. DXY to the upside today. That's an hourly chart of the dollar. And then the 10-year at the end here, quickly, not really doing anything either, just kind of chopping around. Let's get right to this. Tesla grinding. Trying to get back above 125, 126. We break that low and then some, guys. 10% plus at the bottom. There's no bid here.
Not at all. You know what? There were bids on Tesla. Every time I tried to take a bottom, I put a bid out. You know, and then there'd be a bid, and then it would run you over, and then it would go lower, and then you put another bid out, and then that gets filled, and it gets stopped out. I mean,
I knew I should have bought that Lucid.
Well, Lucid isn't having a good day either.
That's but I mean, I could have spent some money.
Oddly enough, so here's the thing. Here's the thing about Tesla. SET was 8% yesterday. It was 10%. It broke SSR today. I had I had a couple of longs and I had a couple of shorts on this thing, and I really wasn't involved. I like Lucid. You'll see I'm actually still in the short of that one, but. That SSR level, I did try to play off the SSR. There was a minute bounce for a couple of dollars, and then just a huge capitulation. And I think that volume, here's at least what you want to be able to learn here. When you talk about a turnaround, this volume candle was absolutely ridiculous on the way back. It's when it broke, this is about 124. When it broke that level, it was the biggest volume candle of the day, bigger than the open, and it was a harsh reversal. This is where I was actually jumping back into the short position, and I just wasn't giving it enough room. There was a decent retracement, should have held on to it. If anything, I actually reversed long and ended up losing. I think that was a bit of a mistake, because what you want to see happen is have it retest the level where all the nonsense happened and then make a decision. Because when it retested that level where all the volume came in, it bounced and it's sustaining the bounce. So, you know, everyone wants to have the bottom or get in early or get the perfect entry point, but sometimes it's just better to join it late when it's making a significant higher low, or just join the trend on the way to the downside in the morning. I mean, I chose Lucid because, quite frankly, sometimes it's just a little bit easier when an even dollar level breaks, you short the even dollar, and it was $7. And $7 broke, so that was not a complicated trade. Yeah, my head's in the way. There you go. Yeah, $7 broke. It wasn't a complicated trade, but that's the thing. Like, not every trade's going to be easy, but the trend on Tesla was just twice as good, and it's frustrating because you don't see those types of days very often. And when you get them, you want to take advantage of them a little bit better.
All right. Yeah, good. I just saw here RIVN falls for 10th day here.
10 in a row.
I guess so. Wow, RIVN.
Damn.
RIVN is like a nightmare. Okay, I almost think it's time to go long. I mean, we're right back up here to the 200 period right now. The craziest thing is that we basically left Tesla. I mean, here's my Tesla trading today. We left Tesla alone the whole morning because we're just, you know, getting killed on everything else. Finally, we say, oh, maybe 128 off that bottom. Nah, that didn't work. Paper cut there. Then we went long again and got in and out. And then I was like, forget about this. This is ridiculous. Breaking 125. So that was the short. We got some 124s out. My best out there, 123. I mean, that's $1.80. And then again at 125, tried to go long a couple times into there. We went short first and out, then we went long and out. So we missed about 50 cents back and forth there on just some really stupid trading at around 125. But again, I say that, it just wasn't a clean. It's pretty choppy in there, and then came back in, and now you're taking the 200 period, which I think is a long. We're already long a lot of names. We're going to get into those after we go. We're right now 70 cents in the money on both Apple and Meta, but there goes Tesla right now, breaking key level. Should probably be long right now. I'm going to look into that, but it just took out that 126. That's a great long, I feel like, breaking the 200 period. Finally starting to make a little bit of sense there, taking this out. I mean, it followed this all the way down before now just curling back up. So Tesla at these levels, it's either a fade this pop or you go for that long back to 130. So, you know, pick your poison here. I'm hella long the market, so we're making back. I've made back half of what I was down, hopefully making back a little bit more here, but it's a red day. We're going to talk about some big tech names. Oh, man, that 126 was the golden play right there as it's continuing to march up. Look at these futures. Big little bounce back up to 11,000. We'll see if we can hold that 11. We're going to talk about big techs. Let's go over to Brendan now because there's no bigger tech than the NASDAQ index itself.
Yeah, let's get into a few of these because there's just crazy moves happening so far today. I saw a 4% print on the overall NASDAQ, even bigger than that at the bottom. Unbelievable. Here is what we were talking about this morning when it comes to Alphabet. Needham was the latest. Remember, there was 2 or 3 negative notes earlier in the week on Alphabet specifically, cutting their price target, talking about ad softness going into next year, talking about YouTube's essentially their best product at this point. And they should spin that off to add some value to the overall stock. Here's Apple, 3%, as Shawn was mentioning, trying to break back to the upside. Finally, do we get a bounce here, guys?
Well, the bounce has already happened.
Yes. Look, this is the thing, all right? And look, I'm pretty proud of everything because of just the way we've been able to battle back a little bit here today. And it's going to say the same thing over and over again. And it's just like, you try to catch these freaking falling swords, right? But there's really nothing here to catch. Like, it's straight to the downside. You wait for some key levels, but look at the only trade that's working for me right now. Look, we're going to be up on Apple. So Apple's been fine. We've actually caught some bottoms here, 131, playing off some support, but then that broke, and then you give back what you made a little bit there. Like, that's a 131 take, and some of these outs are in the 50s, 70s, 80s, so it's fine. But then you average back in when it comes back down, and then you get taken out again, and then it's all that. But look at this, 130. I mean, this is what's holding right now. We put on, a pretty decent sized trade here at the bottom of 130. Then if I look at the 20-minute chart, this is kind of what I'm saying. Like, look at this free fall all the way down. Really, like buying it in here, 133, 132, You know, that's why 131 right there might have held, because he did have some bottoms. But buying it in all this move all the way down, and we'll go back over and show you, you're really just putting yourself out there to get taken out because there is no bottom until you actually see a bottom. And, you know, you can data mine and pick these trades out of thin air and, you know, figure things out. But look, let's be honest. We've already made this move. Like, we already went from 133 down. Where did we stop? 130. Okay, so here's kind of the move today. We start from 134, but look where we stop, 130 again. So, you know, we learn something every single day, and I've just learned that when you sort of get involved with that, like, mentality of, oh my God, things are just falling and I can't figure out what to do next. At that point, I'm just gonna hit Shift Escape, cancel all my orders, and then that's why I stuck with Meta and Apple, right? We said Microsoft out of there because we didn't have good reads. We stuck with something and found this bottom. Look how I left it alone. Like, eventually I learned my lesson. I left this thing alone for an hour and a half. Comes down to 130, had a pending order there, took the fill, and then the rest, as they say, is history. So I think I'm learning every day. Try to be as patient as you can. I know that's what we say all the time, but when I break my own rules, it's absolutely devastating, because you look back, and I heard Lucas say this too, it's like sometimes it's better either go into simulation, I'm not doing that, but lower your shares, something where breathe, because there's always another trade.
Yeah.
And you don't need to bury yourself on bad reads.
The market's always going to be here tomorrow. That's the reality. And, you know, here's the other thing, too. Like, there is a 0% chance. Like, nobody has their best day every single day. Nobody's right 100% of the time. And all you can ever do as a trader is the days that you are wrong, or you're going to be wrong because the theses that you had or the trade ideas that you had, they were just not going to work out. All you can do is adhere to your stops, limit the damage, hopefully adjust to the trend, and then go from there. So, look, I traded Netflix today for the long side. And, look at it at $300. Like, I'm not here to tell you, like, at the open, it essentially, well, in the pre-market when we had the 830 number, it essentially cracked 300. And then on the 15-minute, like, this is it right before the open, you're cracking 300 to the downside. And then you're just lower, high, lower, high, lower, high. So the trend is obviously to the downside. All you can do in that spot is only trade the key levels. I was fortunate enough to grab the 94, like longs 94, 95 in front, so when it moved up, I got out. But here's where the mistake comes. When it comes back to that level, if it's stair-stepping down and you get the bounce play, do not reload at the same level. Don't reload it's too early in the day. If it consolidates off that level, if I see it bounce and then it consolidates and puts in higher lows, that's fine. Like, you see what's happening here at the bottom, it goes to the next level down 290, puts in some higher lows, breaks the channel up. That actually wouldn't be a bad long. But going long after you're just able to, like, the market's screaming to the downside and you finally find something that gives you a good bounce, well, let's just go right back in, load up in front of the same level and get run over. No, you don't want to be able to do, you don't want to do that, because the best thing you can do is take your money and run when you aren't having the best read. And the longs weren't the best read. And the other side of it is make sure you get your A+ shorting opportunities, which we'll talk about it during Micron, but there's been one day in the last 2 weeks that I was not short Intel, and it was today. That sucks.
All right, I was going to mention these Chinese ADRs. We'll get to that in a sec. Wanted just to show you this first. Microsoft on a downtick there on some volume on this. It looks like Fitch Ratings says they'll plan to withdraw their rating on credit rating, that is, on Microsoft on and about January 22nd of next year for commercial reasons. So that just came across for Mr. Softy. Let's talk about China here. There was some positivity initially this morning for some of these. Alibaba was among the best off when I sat down this morning, but here's what happened. It's just gone straight to the downside with the overall market all day long. But 0.8 only here, guys, for Alibaba.
Well, Pinduoduo.
Why is there always a but? And this time there's like 3 buts.
What? No, but Pinduoduo is better than Alibaba. 0.7 to the downside, not 0.8. So once again, PDD is better than, no, I don't, they both suck today, obviously, if you had them. All these charts are going to look exact. Oh, yeah.
Before I forget, I want to give a big shout out to Rahim
Yeah, we didn't
Alani
show this
because
out.
dun, 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 dun.
Did somebody say wine?
I'm taking this one, the Toscana, I've decided.
Okay.
And there's two Chiantis there.
There's
in
a
the
couple
middle.
of Chiantis, one of which is a 93-pointer.
Oh, you want the middle 93-pointer, the James Suckling Award winner? All right, all right. Mine's the 91er. And there's a 91, 92, 93.
You know, here's the thing. And look,
I just have Chianti at home.
remember we
already.
did that wine club thing at our old office?
Yes,
And
we should do that again.
So it was a lot of fun, but like one thing I learned is like, okay, well this one's a 91, this one's not, like you don't really, like some people tell that difference. It's like for me, a good bottle of
What was
wine.
it? Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I couldn't tell like if this one's, like every now and then there are a few fantastic bottles, but like you have something that just blows your mind and it's like 91, and then some other one's like 93 or 94. I'm like, I don't know, that was kind of okay.
Yeah.
So thank you, Raheem. He was in the house. We haven't seen him in a
We
while.
had him early there.
And yeah, we appreciate.
I mean,
him,
and of course it's Italian. I mean,
Well, you know.
I mean, this is what we're all about.
Of course.
I kind of want to like leave it here, but then I feel like we'd hit it.
What about the bear?
Like I'd hit
No,
it
no,
out of
that's
the
a
way.
bad idea.
But there it is. No, we're not going to do that.
So
but
I don't
want to
wanna-
give a big shout out to Mr. Raheem Alani, who is back,
in the
hopefully
saddle.
as a bi-weekly guest.
He's back.
Michael
He's back in
Noss
the
back in the building tomorrow, I believe, right, Brendo? Do we have confirmation he had the Noss boss in there tomorrow as well? And it was funny because what are we talking about? China?
China.
Yeah, whatever. We have Arun's, you know, it's kind of lucky. I was thinking about this because if Arun didn't have to fill in for me, I wonder if he would have booked like a day late because he said he wanted to come back for Christmas anyways. But because of this huge storm that's coming, I believe he's flying now.
Well, that's good.
So exactly.
Tomorrow's
like, how
gonna be
fluke
bad.
is
man.
that?
Tomorrow's gonna be bad.
Yeah, like so right here in Toronto, I think it's the whole northeastern seaboard there. What is it called? Like Elliott or something like that? I don't know. Anyway, they always name these storms. And
This one's
apparently,
it's a name storm? I didn't know.
I believe so. We're
that's
supposed to
not-
get absolutely
That's not good.
destroyed. But I just saw something just came through. $170 spent at the grocery store because we had to get the prime rib roast is coming through. We got some Yorkshire pudding. We're getting ready to rock and roll here.
For your family size, that's not bad. That's not bad.
No, small fam. We're only having, I think, 8 people.
Okay.
And then my daughter's vegetarian and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, I didn't know if like
no, that side, we'll see those guys. Oh, well, my brother's coming, yeah. But 5,000 flights canceled so far. Is that just on the East
Really?
Coast
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
It's, yeah. Oh my God, it's bad here in Miami. Yeah, shut up, playmaker. Honestly,
You know what? That
man,
ain't
like,
even right,
Like
man.
that's not even cool, man. And I'm just playing with you, playmaker, of course. But
Stop bragging.
But Florida gets a different problem. I mean, look, if you're talking about weather,
No
man,
hurricanes here.
I would honestly choose here just for that reason.
I'll tell you this right now. Like my family's West Indian, so my parents and all my aunts and uncles, they've experienced most the worst of what is here in Canada for like bad weather and cold, and they've experienced hurricanes. And I'll tell you this right now, nobody's trying to be in a hurricane. Like that is like that. It's a
Except for
different
those
level,
news
man.
reporters.
It's one thing if it's cold and it's snowing and you just stay at home. It's another thing if staying at home is dangerous. Like
Yeah.
there's a very big difference between those two, in my opinion.
And Raheem kind of saved me because I'm going to do it anyways because the storm's not here yet. But my job was to stop at the LCBO, which is the liquor store here, to pick up said bottles. But I have to pick up something else because I'm getting something for my parents. Okay, the market's starting to rally up here. All right, forget about Chinese ADRs. Let's go back over to Brett. Well, we just talked about them. Alibaba, Pinduoduo, they're great. They're not great. They're great. All right, let's go back over to Brett and talk about Micron because the market's moving here and I'm just too obsessed with wine apparently.
Yeah, trying to bounce. Once again, can we get back to 11,000 so far on the NASDAQ? Not so much. Micron, it was not good. The forecast was the bigger problem going into their fiscal Q2. So wider loss, not only per share, but on the revenue side for fiscal Q2 coming. They said inventories are still a problem, higher than expected, and cost-cutting measures not really working yet for MU.
So basically, in the close show, I was like, MU breaks 50, 50's a level, just short 50. So I did short 50, but unfortunately for me, it wasn't the only thing that I did. So I also shorted 49.5, which didn't work. 50s was great every time he took it. Then when after 49.5 didn't work, I shorted 49.5 again, which didn't work. And then the only reason I'm green on Micron, every now and then you're going to go long on a consolidation at lunchtime, and you're going to find something that actually bounces, and then you're just able to scalp it over and over again. So I have gotten back on Micron here, and I am long 48.50. The difference with this, and I'm surprised this level is actually holding up, was on the daily chart. There was your support on the daily. right at this 48.5 on Micron. And it's been holding like an absolute champion all afternoon, just giving you scalp trade after scalp trade. I did miss the last reload because it didn't quite get down to the 50s, but that's one line in the sand that it's managed to hold. I can't talk about the chips without showing you Intel. I'm actually still bidding 25 because I said, oh, I'll go long 25 if it ever gets there. It's not going to. But Intel, that's going to be like the biggest swing and miss for me. It was a trend down. Like I was shorting this level all week long. And when it finally broke the channel down, I was trading Micron and missed out on what, like this should have been the best trade for me. Like if every single day you're watching the same channel and shorting the resistance, when the support breaks, you probably want to be there. It happened right at 9:30. You had to get the fill at 9:30. I wasn't there for Intel. Thankfully, Micron's given us some opportunities, but you don't want to get too far away from the stocks you have the best read on. That's just the reality. It's so easy to get worked up with what's moving, but the truth of the matter is in the market and in trading, you should just be doing what works. Like, I wouldn't even care if I missed Tesla every single day if you just have something that for you was better. You know, and that's, for me, it's been Intel, and I didn't trade Intel once today, the day that it was down the most.
Yeah, there's no hate playmaker. It's more about jealousy right now. We ain't waiting. Although, if you talk to my brother-in-law, who's from the north, he's probably in shorts right now as well, as it's about 32 degrees. What is it? What is it right now? It's -3 here? Yeah, it's -3, so it's probably like 25 degrees. Randy, I think, is in shorts.
Is this the brother?
Well, yeah, Marissa's brother.
Oh, but in like...
up north,
North
Bay.
Bay. North Bay here.
Yeah. The thing about people from the north...
But why is he in shorts?
Because they front like they don't care about cold.
Like
that's what I'm saying. It's like...
Okay, says the guy
like
who's
Randy.
barbecuing in 0 degrees.
Yeah. But I'm not wearing shorts when I'm barbecuing. Okay. I mean, that's the difference. But we finally did last night put away the patio furniture. Finally.
You just put it away now?
Because
We've
I
had
was
like 3 winter storms.
No. But I have that thing that overhangs.
Oh, I know.
No, it was fine. But I was like, you know what? If we're getting a major storm now, then yeah, I better address.
Well, the last one wasn't a major storm? We
No,
got a
not
bunch
really.
of
I think we've had a couple. Yeah, it was all right. Jacksonville. Yeah, shout out to Jacksonville Jaguars tonight as they go out. Against the Jets.
I'm a Bills fan, but unfortunately, I need the Jets to. The defense to step up there because the guy I'm facing has a quarterback and both wide receivers for the Jags.
Their defense will step up.
Shut them down.
That's a legit D. Just really quickly over here about Meta quickly. First of all, on the sticky note today, I have the bottom as being 48.50 on Micron. Call it up and tell me what the bottom is. Okay, here's Meta right here, 114. So this is what we did, man. We kept getting slapped around all freaking day on this name. Actually, Meta's now fine, but because of this trade. So it only takes 1 or 2 good trades. Now, I don't know why it stopped at 114. Apple is more obvious at 130, but I just kept trying it, right? Like, trying the longs, getting some out, coming back in, getting stopped out at a 115 break, going long again, getting stopped out for 50-cent hit. And then finally we went, we got stopped out when it broke 114.50, but we only got stopped out of a piece. We didn't get stopped out of everything. And then boom, there's the buyback right back in, 114.50 off those bottoms. And then I think it's because we kind of got a bad wick there. And then it goes right back up, and I just took another piece out at 115.50. So, we're long here. That's another $1 we just made. We're going to see if we can hold it, but back to the 200 period, making a lot of sense. Why is the 200 period pretty important? Let's look at what Tesla did at its 200 period. So here's Tesla going all the way back up. 126 is its 200 period. It goes 50 cents more than that, then turns completely around. So if you're long Tesla off the bottom, would have been a good out to get something out right there. But there's Micron. I don't have it. We talked about 48.50. I mean, I'm not going to show the sticky note. You can see it right here. There's also, we have Google long 48 or 88. Hopefully not 48 on that one if that ever comes through. But there's Micron on the dip. There's 48.50 as the bottom. It doesn't come in. We're going to wait. It does come in, but we're going to wait to see on a break. It already took the 200 period. I'm pretty happy with the longs I have on board right now. But Micron sending also, and I know Micron's DRAM and all that kind of stuff, so it's a little different than what we're dealing with here on AMD. But AMD down 7.5% right now. Like, some of these names just got absolutely destroyed today. So I feel like, man,
NVIDIA hit 10, I thought.
Yeah, hopefully this is a flush day and we can bounce tomorrow, but
I kind of feel so. I bought a little alphabet during lunch, And I had this conversation with Greg, and I think Luca was talking about it as well in the midday show. But it does feel like when you have a day like today, and then things, tomorrow might calm down a little bit in front of Christmas, and then you could have that whole like light volume, early January
Boom.
Santa Claus rally. That's what I think could be in store. I don't know how long it lasts, quite frankly. Definitely around earnings will be ugly. I want to get to one name. We're going to talk about AMC in a second, but I got to talk about this ISO. You might have heard these guys talk about it in the midday show. Sometimes it's not that complicated. This stock ran to $2. This is $2 on the daily chart. Runs to $2, stops, consolidates, and then drops to VWAP. Sometimes just go for your A+ setups. At least you know the risk to reward is going to work on these. I'm on VWAP here in 155, trying to get out of this one. But like a 190 short, and then you take it all the way down into VWAP, risking 5 to 10 cents. If you like a $2 stop, you can do that. If you like a 95 stop, you can do that. Either one's going to be pretty valid there. So going to be getting out of this. I don't think I would reload. If it holds VWAP, I don't think I reload this at $2 because it's still a bullish looking chart, up 130% and holding consolidation at this point.
All right, let's revisit this AMC ape story that came out as we were on this morning during the pre-market portion of the show. What a move this caused for both AMC and ape this morning. Okay, a few things to understand here. So there was an equity sale. So they sold ape units to Antera Capital, and that raised $110 million. Okay, and then they also said they're going to convert or look to get approval to convert ape units to AMC common shares. That's going to come up at a special shareholder meeting in the near future. And then they also proposed a reverse stock split of AMC common shares at a 1-to-10 ratio. So a lot to kind of digest there. This number down here is kind of concerning, obviously. $11.8 billion at the end of September in liabilities. Market cap of the company is $2.7 billion.
Market cap is $2.7 billion. What were the liabilities?
11.8. You know when you know something is
All right,
bad?
I'm just going to hit this because this is
what you get told how bad it really is.
Oh, man. That's like my kids telling me, like, Dad, like I got a D in something, but, there's a couple Fs back there somewhere. And, but I you know what? Look, the market is never properly valuing anything, to be honest with you. I mean, Tesla's down 73% this year. AMC obviously is going to have some work to do to restructure that debt.
You know what, though? AMC, this is the crazy thing about the market. You just said the market's not always valuing things properly. AMC, since the open, is one of the stronger stocks in the market. It's down 13%, but it's basically been a buy all day long. That's the crazy thing about it.
You know what, Zach? That's not a horrible theory there. I don't think TikTok's going to get banned over Christmas, but I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons to be long Meta. That would be another one of them there, sort of that canary in a coal mine where you unlock the value because TikTok is gone. And I don't know if people are going to, I mean, if there's no more TikTok, Reels aren't going anywhere. YouTube has the shorts as well. Yeah. I mean, there's reasons why I'm buying Google and Meta and all that kind of stuff.
Those two over Snapchat, though.
Disappointed with Microsoft.
I don't know. I remember the last conversation I had with like a couple of niece and nephew that were teens. They were just, what they had to say about Snapchat put me off that at all. Like nobody seems to care about it anymore. So definitely those two.
Lucas is on Snapchat, right, Fahad?
Is that what?
Yeah. Apparently, that's. But Lucas is nice and young. Okay, let's go over to Ape. So Ape right now, I think it's just a young person's game. That's Snapchat there, because we never grew up with it, right? So, but we never grew up with cell phones.
Man, we didn't grow up with a lot of things.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Okay, right here, Ape today, for me, pretty simple because it just gave the trade early, right? So we saw the news come in. Obviously, we miss it at 65. Breaks $1, we take the long. First out 30, next out 40. Drops in, so that's out of 2/3. You guys all saw me trade this live. If you were here earlier in the AM, we started at 8:30 AM. So I was in this trade at 8:40, in, and then out at 9:10. But then it took $1 again, and we got back in, and then we started to take the profit again there. So definitely profitable there. So the first 30 minutes or so of the day, good time profits on Ape, and then it even got better after that. So then it drops back in again, and look where we're reloaded. So we got the banger on Ape again right there. So despite all this tech wreck today, we actually have some profitable trades here. There's Ape again at 105. out 110 against the 50 period, out at the 200 period at 118, out again at 118. I think these are actually 119s, out at 118, 119 again. And right now at VWAP, I'm thinking breaking higher here, looking right here for my next out at, ooh, yeah, my next out here at 25, we'll put an offer there. I don't have one now that I zoom this out and look at this thing. Let's go another one at 25, and then, hey, man, if we moon, we'll still have something on board. So right now, ape, yeah, 24. Is this good enough? Let's put an order and wait in this lineup a little bit here as we got this long right now on ape, and it's working. We also have $1.10 in the money on Apple right now. We have $1.30 in the money on Meta right now. And then we have that 20 cents on ape. So this is 20% in the money right now on ape. So some of these names are pretty crazy today. I hope that you're able to make a little bit of money on some of these other ones rather than what else is on the board. Tesla crushed, big tech in trouble, China, whoever knows what's going on.
I hate to say this, but Tesla, even on this bounce in the market,
it's getting tanked again.
Tesla is rolling back over. Tesla just broke the 50 period and is rolling back over as the market bounces. There is no bid in Tesla, apparently. There's no love to be had for this name. It's just they don't care. Trade Game asked, what do I think of Micron for the long term? So I think they're making all the right moves. The problem with Micron, I was saying this before, like they're really cyclical. This is not a case of a company that makes money that's like making less money, is projected to make less. They actually turn a loss, and for them, you want to see the economy turn around. I think the first quarter report's going to be a big one. I don't know if this catches a bid until some point in next year. Like I actually feel better about buying Intel at 25 than Micron sub 50. I'm not sure where I'd want to pick it up. The day trade is a different story. It's actually a bit of a positive sign that it held that level on the daily chart, 48.50. And if it holds that price the rest of the week, maybe there's a 50 breakout. But I kind of feel like it was a bad enough quarter that they need to prove it next year. We'll see what happens. Like, it's an expensive stock, but you're probably better off in some of the like equipment makers. Like those are way more stable, especially in a bit of a downturn. As I say that, we just rejected 49, and I'm not a believer. So 48.5 rejects 49. I'm out. I'm ringing the register. If there's one thing I've learned about today, it's when you have wins on longs and something about it is telling you to get out, I'm just going to get the heck out of Dodge and then look for the next trade. Hopefully we're able to find a couple of those. I'll get back on the bid at 48.50, but yeah, I'm not really all that sure about it in the long term. Like Intel's actually bouncing as well. Like Intel, I like that 25 level. It's been previous support. I think it can hold it again. We actually didn't get there today, oddly enough, but the trend down to me is unbroken. Let's see some actual stability first.
I'm just getting some setups here because I just noticed I don't really have any stops here for Meta. And we're right here at stops, schmops, 115.40. I mean, these stops have saved me so much money. It's ridiculous. 115. I mean, because otherwise, like, you know, if you don't have stops, the thing is, the next thing you know is you're looking over at your portfolio or your, you know, your set of shares that you have on board there, and it's like, what just happened? Like, especially if you're net long everything and you don't have any stops, next thing you know, you're gonna have like L times 3, you know? So, all right, so that 200 period right here, if we're gonna talk about it and chart it and everything, we're gonna use it. So a break back down below 115.40 here, and we're gonna get another piece out for Meta. But hey, Meta's been a great stock today for me anyways. Not great, but great on this bounce back. Apple as well. We're gonna be net positive on Apple, Ape today, not on Microsoft. Oh, we can look back on Nike as well. Let's have a quick look on this one as it's fallen back down again too. We had Nike earlier on. Nike yesterday was a great trade, but there it is bouncing off 115 again there today. So Nike yesterday, we had a great short up there on Nike. It actually cashed it out down here with a big trade yesterday for Nike off earnings. So you always want to go to some of those second day plays again, right? So long, like, so this is what I mean, long and out, long at that bottom at the 200 period, then out. Then we lost as it dipped below all these lines and took down 115. So far so good with a lot of these plays. There it is right there, 116 to the top right there for Nike. So yeah, lots of potential here for that name. I think I like it back down near that 115. So that's an area for me on Nike coming back in. We're still watching out for that Meta. I mean, Roku, 52-week lows, all the weed stocks. I mean,
everything.
Forget about the weed stocks. That's for sure. And then Amazon. Oh, wow. Holy shoot, man. Amazon's at $82 right now. You can go back and look for the last whatever, man. We've been talking about shorting Amazon for a very, very long time, and it's really come in here down to 82 bucks again. Wow. Oh, our daily chart's going to look like a nightmare, but maybe you are bouncing. Look at this 20-minute chart. Just straight down for Amazon, man. We started the day at $87, guys.
I feel like 82. Split adjusted 81 was a bottom. If you go way back, I just have to, I'm going to pull up my trade ideas, but I believe it was $81 on Amazon. That was a big level on the daily. We almost got there today. If we get there, I think that's going to be a big one. Just to come over, I want to update this ISO because it got to VWAP and bounce. So what I like to do here is just put a bracket. Either we bounce off the low. If it breaks this channel 165, I just get out of it. And I think it's turning into, if it holds the 150, you could have a little bit of a long trade in there. There's also that PRQR that I know the midday guys were talking about. Sharif was trading this. I want to say he had some good longs in there, if memory serves. But it's rejected $3, rejected a lower high. This has come down in through VWAP on the 15-minute. Pop over the 3, sort of same thing. Like it's done a bit of a flat bottom break here at 280. I just saw it now, so I didn't have a stop for this break of 280. But if it does another consolidation here off 260 into the 280, then I'd like to see a breakdown at that level, and I think it could short back into 225. So it's this 260 level from earlier I'll be watching on PRQR. I probably have to pay for locates. I'm actually just going to test to see if I do. Oh, no. Well, either way, I must have already paid for them, actually. So I can short the stock. Okay,
all
so
right.
That's good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Eli Lilly collab there. I saw Brendan mentioned it there. Okay, just quickly here. Meta, I've now canceled that stop order. Why? Because we got filled at the high there. So, I mean, it ripped right off that. I mean, look at this. It ripped right off that 200 period where we were going to get out, and then it came right back into that level that we, I mean, so, you know, that's, if you're going to scalp out some stuff, man, you're going to have to do that. I was going to hit the bull, but I don't want to hit the bull today. Let's just go, that was a good idea to scalp some out. As we're getting lighter and lighter on all these positions as you go. Ape, there's the fill there. So again, another one. Basically avoiding some of the tech names long has been good, and just stick with, names that are moving around. And there's Ape. There's the buy at 103. There's the out at 124. That's a 20% right there, right? It doesn't really matter because it's only a dollar stock, and we've seen these stocks move insane. But still, off of $1, it's a pretty good move. I hope a lot of you have that, and if not, maybe you will soon, because it could flush back down to that dollar mark. Is Tesla bouncing or not? That's the question. I mean, 123 right there. Should have shorted it. I mean, easy to say now off that 200 period. I was actually debating. It's a good thing I didn't go long. I mean, I want to go long a stock that's down, at that time probably down 8.5% or something when it's up here. But again, you got to stick to your rules. I have these sticky notes written here, and they just say stay with the trend, and short these 200 periods when it comes back. Should have done that. We didn't, and definitely paying the piper for it. Well, not paying anybody, but let's go over to Google, a name that's not been too bad for us today. Why? Because we started buying all of these 8750s and just getting them out until the last time it broke. So Google's been pretty good for us. I still like it. You're bouncing around that 200 period again on this name. I feel like there's better names to short, but look at us right here. So this is a 200, this is a 50, and then we have VWAPs all the way up here. So, you got a nice little bottom here. You're starting to make some higher lows, obviously, as we can start to see this. There's the bottom, there's another low, there's another low, there's one again, there's one now. So, maybe this does have a little bit of a support side here. If we can dip back into here, then maybe it's a buy. But, I mean, these futures, I want to go short into the close, don't we? I mean, I'm double longs right now. I don't count Ape as a long because that's going to just move the way it wants to. But we're already long Apple and we're long Meta. Do we really want to put on a Google long, or do we just put on the short against that level? Probably a short.
It's hard to like the long. I mean, if you look at I have the NASDAQ futures up here. And we're talking about this earlier, during lunchtime. If you watch the chart, come to the charts for a second here, Fahad. Yeah, every single even 100 handle, 11.3 drop, consolidation 11.2 drop, consolidation bounce off 1100 drop, and just another 100 down, another 100 down. Then when you finally catch a bid, you go halfway and start turning around. It's just the way we were falling down. And it's been a bit of a challenge to catch that first bounce, and we didn't even make a full retracement to the next level up. Like, that's not that strong a move. I'm wishing I'd gotten 49 short. Instead of just getting out of Micron, I should actually just gone short of Micron. But there's another name here. Someone mentioned in the chat, Carvana. Watch out, Carvana, because it's bouncing and got right to $4. So here's $4. Support the last couple of days, broke down. It was already to the downside because CarMax had bad earnings. They got crushed today, but right back into $4. So that's a good line in the sand. You can play both directions here. There's always a short interest, so you could squeeze through $4 and maybe break higher. I'd believe it if it happens, but I'll short in front first with a nice little reversal. They can take out that 4. I always like breaks like that.
Shout out to, who was it there in the chat that just said, what if AMD, Shawn? And I went right over to it. I'm like, yeah, I like this AMD long. I'm trying to look for you in the chat. I don't, oh, there it is right there. What's up, Michelle Lamb? Thank you so much. Well, for everybody's, contributions on our chat. I mean, there's so many names to look at that it's really great to have, others, helping and saying, hey, what about this stock? What about that stock? So here we go. It's very, very light. I missed it. So when I called it up, it was literally down here at 74, and I was like, okay, I'll bid because I saw that you're right here at the 200 period, you're right here at the 50 period, and for AMD, like. We're just seeing about a breakout long. I mean, we have this protection down here of 62.50-ish, right? So this is where you can go risk to reward on this trade. Like if we had those, we don't have the 70s, but if we did down here where we're supposed to have them, then you could use this like 60 as an out, something like that. I mean, and then now you're 30 cents of the money if you have that. So good call out. I didn't notice it early enough, but again, ooh, what just happened to Meta there? Oh, I had another out. That's my bad. I actually didn't realize that. So that's a bad idea by me. But there's Meta. I was just like, whoa, wait a second. We just got less shares there. There's another out for us at 116. At this one, I'm playing off VWAP. We're $1.30 in the money on Meta. Okay? And I'm playing off that VWAP of 116.10. Like, we got 160, 150. I put this out a long time ago, which is why that fill just came in, so I missed it. But again, we're getting out slowly here. That was like, I would have told you if I had that order out there, but I do remember it now because we're playing off 116. So that's a good fill for us there, as we'll take that. Here comes AMD coming back in a little bit. I am bidding 78 for a couple shares. And then so once that fills, hopefully it does, we'll look at this. That's 71. Let's pull it back a little bit. We'll pull that 78 back. Let's get like 70. Let's see if we can get 75. I mean, I know it's not that much of a difference, but again, trade how you trade. We'll wait for 74, 75, and then use like 65-ish as an out. I just don't want 50s there too, but the last time we wicked down to 47, 48, and then if I'm going to play off 50, I might as well play off 40 because you do have that bottom there, so I'm not going to do that. So let's just get it out at 65 if it comes in, but let's go long 75. We're, sure, we're in the money now. We were in the money 10 cents or whatever. We're not going to take it out. We don't have a big position here, so let's continue to watch. But I like that. Let's take AMD. You're on Netflix. Okay, I was going to say if you're on NVIDIA, it's probably similar. So, all right, we're going to wait for AMD to come back in. Hopefully it does. It's breaking out. We'll have the winner on board. Trust me on this one. We have it, and I'm going to look for this. I'm going to hold. If this goes, man, let's get a 63.30 out here on AMD, but we need to get longer first.
Yeah, and I go back to Netflix because it's reclaimed the support from this morning, which is that 294 level. And once you're above there, if you can break out, fine, 295. But I like this 294. We're going to go back into it. I just saw someone in the chat say something about Thinkorswim halts margin on Tesla trades. Well, I mean, when volatility picks up, you can see some things like that have happened. But yeah, I like Netflix for its relative strength. I mean, it's down 1%, but hey, the market's down 3 1/3. The NASDAQ's down 3 1/3. The ES is down 2.5. So, obviously it's at least a little bit relative strong, and that's a little bit better for me. That's what I want to see. That's why when I look at this back at VWAP, I'm looking to try and find a long off previous support. But when I look at Micron, I just cannot get away from the fact that it was bad report, lower high. I'd almost rather be fading this off that 49 area. So I am going to jump into a Micron short. If I saw something like an Intel, I'd probably go ahead and do that. But yeah, got Carvana in front of 4 even. If that breaks, it's a pretty easy stop. Risk about 5 cents there to see if it can get back in toward those lows. You can try and pick up some Netflix 94 and go in short off 49 here in Micron.
Oh man, we had some bad wicks in Apple. I was going to show you. It's basically the same setup off as AMD off 131. It's like the same setup. Apple down here looks pretty good, man. I think you can. that sucks. This is what I'm talking about. We're going to have to do this. Like, I'm going to have to resize all these charts, so I'm just going to do it now because, honestly, it's ridiculous that you guys can't see the bottoms here every time we do this. We're going to have to... we were both talking here about trying to fix this, our position board at the bottom so you guys could see everything. Like, you can't see anything.
I think you just have to give, like, it's like 2 inches off the bottom.
Oh, man. I don't know. We're going to try to fix it. I'll do it. I'm not going to do it now, but we'll do it on for Monday's trade or for Tuesday's
Just
trade.
yell at us when you can't see it properly.
No, I mean, they can't see it ever.
Oh, well, that's true.
I mean, it's not.
That's true.
It's not about. Hopefully, you don't yell at us. But anyways, well, I'm going to fix my layout because I was watching the midday show and it was like I couldn't see the bottom, and then I was thinking to myself like, neither can anybody else right now. They can't see.
Well,
these.
that's the thing. Yeah, Sharif would be talking about something.
You know
like,
what?
oh,
I mean,
what's
I
he
could just
talking
put
about?
my minute chart up here and then my 20-minute chart down here. That makes more sense. Put my day chart, put the 3-minute up there because it's going to be more active than obviously a daily chart. But then you can't see
But then
anything
you
on
miss
the daily
volume
chart.
on the daily chart.
Yeah, I don't. There is no right answer here except for maybe. I don't know, Mark. You have bigger screens than this available. I don't know if that would even matter.
What's so funny?
But is there though? Is that possible? The problem. I mean, obviously there's bigger screens. We could put TVs up here.
Well,
but I just don't know. We have all these cameras.
See, like cameras here. And
yeah, we have all this set up here.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you say we can go bigger, huh? Yeah. Well, the only good decision we've made today, I think, was turning this this bull into a bear. As good out on Meta though, and we did buy some more
there
AMD.
were some other ones.
Oh,
You know
Miami Missy. Now I'm confused about where my
The
charts
other
are.
good decision was to have Hog go over some key levels in the future.
And to have Raheem come in. Because we
And
got
Raheem,
wine.
that was fantastic.
Got some
I wouldn't
wine.
mind hearing what Fahad had to say, recapping some of those levels if he wanted to. I just got out of something. Oh yeah, it was ISO. I just got an ISO at VWAP.
The best part about Fahad is I'm just gonna. I mean, go ahead about that, and then I'll talk about some non-trading.
I'm not going to go long. I'm not going to go long this. Like, it's already bounced a couple of times off this level, but I'm not going to go long till it consolidates. I like consolidation above VWAP, and there is support at 150. I just want to see it show me the support. Don't just flush down into it before I want to take a long trade. Sometimes you just stick to what's more simple, and I find if you don't have a read on the bigger cap names and maybe just work over to a small cap if it makes sense to you. We'll get back to this at some point.
Now we're freaking cruising a little bit here as AMD starting to go back up to the upside here.
Netflix?
So we did. I'm going to take this out because, okay, even though our average price is not the greatest on this, but I just took another piece out, the first piece out here for AMD because, see, this is what I'm talking about. I like to show everybody all of them charts, right? It's a 5-minute on the NASDAQ. I could probably get rid of that because it's not super important. Well, everything's important, but there it is. I was just tired of this not coming in to my level and wanted a few more shares, which is why my average price isn't still 84. We got some 87s there as well. Took a piece out 95 there as it ripped up a little bit. I mean, I can't believe I'm using the term rip. Let's see if we can rip up to 63. Now I'm putting an offer. I mean, it's already here, 63.30. Hopefully we can get that on AMD. Yep, okay, I'm just putting that order out because I actually just realized I don't have it. But that's what we like right there. Meta really starting to work now as we get back to 116. So far so good here on the longs. I mean, I've taken AMD and Meta here for you guys, although we had Meta earlier. The only trade I guess I put on is Meta, is AMD for you. Ape, we talked about getting some out, so that's what we've been doing. And then honestly, man, I'm close just to pushing the long in Tesla because it's bouncing off 124. That very bottom there is 123.30. Forget about this flush. I mean, that was a huge volume. Yeah, see, now you can't see. Huge volume on this move back up and also huge volume on that flush through 125 to begin with. Now, look at the volume. Very, very light. We could drift back up. The story's going to come out that Elon sold another 345 billion shares or dollars worth. I feel shares, that'd be crazy. But that's what he did last week, and I feel like that's what happened here. The selling was relentless to the downside. Obviously, the market cracked as well, but here we go, making a lot of money back right now on some of these longs. And there goes Tesla right now, breaking. I'm probably going to test this. 125. I'm going to test this long, 125.25, man. I think that's, that could be a good long there, breaking the 200 period. Failed there, so we're going to keep that in mind. But that's a good little long. Right now, look at AMD, 20 cents now in the money. Boom on that one. So that's going to be a good trade for us. $1.10 in the money now for Apple. Ape is 20 cents, and Meta's a long as well. So wow, what was a really horrible day is now just turning out to be a somewhat horrible day.
It was just a big volume spike. You'll see, I just got CCL I just went long CCL, but a big volume spike, this breaking a channel to the upside, just looking for things that are starting to break out. I mean, Netflix didn't get the fill, so I still like the long in Netflix. I just want to see it give me the fill that I want. But you break the channel up on big volume, I'm going to take a shot at it. I'll go long. If it goes back down, we get like 770s in here inside the consolidation. That's fair enough. You're down 8% on CCL a day after earnings when it was actually challenging the 50 period at one point, and then look at where it bounced. Right, essentially you're breaking back out where the liquidity vacuum was in yesterday's trade. You know, pre-market when they released earnings, it's ridiculous. You released earnings at 9:15, but that's what they did. That was 773 at the bottom. You're essentially breaking out 775. So I see that and say I want to be joining that buying in there. If you get to 8, fantastic. If you get to VWAP, that's perfectly fine by me. About to reverse Carvana, as that looks like it wants to take out 4, but it's Netflix. Like the first thing that I wanted a reversal on. Come on, load up. No? Really?
I also need you to check out that super chat because I have no idea what Playmaker's even talking about.
Okay, so Netflix just broke. I'm not going to get 94s. I'll probably have to take 95s off VWAP. But he's saying, Shawn, get your game on.
Veggie? Vegetables?
I don't understand what... Playmaker, what are you talking about, bro?
All right, good. All right, I mean, I'm just saying good because good. You also don't understand, so that's
Nobody
okay.
understands what that...
Nobody does. Nobody understands that. Okay, so, yeah, it looks like, I mean...
Love you, but...
What is the spread in that Packers game anyways? Right now, people... I mean, I see what people are talking about now, Packers versus Miami, but I don't know. Nobody has any...
Packers versus Miami, but they don't play each other.
Nobody knows Brian Thompson. I mean, Playmaker's on a different level, it seems
word.
like. Okay, no, I'm just playing around with love you, Playmaker.
Yeah, but now, whatever.
Okay,
now,
so anyways, whatever. We're gonna go on that. Now Meta is back at VWAP here. I don't want to. I didn't actually put that Tesla trade in. I gotta look at that again here for Tesla. But I'm just trying to watch my net here and just sort of figure out what the heck Playmaker is talking about. But there it is, a nice little move up there to 63.15 for this name. Apple also starting to rip upside as we're getting back into it. Not your NVIDIA, but you're right. NVIDIA still down that 8.5%, so it must have gone down 10 at one point there. That would make a lot of sense. But yeah, Tesla coming back in there. That trade 125. What did I say it was going to come out at? Hold on a second. Let's go back over to Tesla again. Just want to make sure what that. Yeah, 125.15. Yeah, it's there. It's there for a trade. Yeah, I'm going to take that. What are we at right here? 125.20. It's just you have all this consolidation. We got to break above it. So the good thing about taking this trade is you can actually size up because I feel like if you're wrong, you're going to get out like around here anyways. So I feel like you're going to take like a 30-cent hit. So that's probably worth it, Even if you take, I mean, it depends on, everybody's risk tolerance is different, but if you take 100 shares, 30 cents worth of risk to the downside gives you a little bit more than 30 cents upside, like a lot more. So yeah, that's something I'm going to look at there. I'm going to take Tesla breaking through this 125. Yeah, it's basically like 125.20. Okay, I'm going to put that order in right now.
So it was Kevin in the chat. He's like, where's your stop on Micron? It's not going to be that hard to figure it out. Just if you're looking at the chart, shorting it off this recent high. It's trying to channel up here. I actually still have my 48.50, but I don't really need that. If it gets down there, we'll have bigger fish to fry. But if we get back beneath 49, I'd probably add to it. But I'm just risking that little 10-cent range that we have on here. Reverse Carvana got CCL. Still no Netflix. Still don't have Netflix off VWAP here. It's consolidating. The market's still going, right? Like it's actually... We're up a couple of more points, and Netflix is still kind of holding out here. And the other reason I like 94, 95 Netflix is there's room to like 97. At least that's what I see. So I'm out of Micron. You could have easily guessed where the stop was going to be. But I'll look for this. I need to get something in front of 95. Maybe I'll have to pick some 20s in here on Netflix. The other name that we were just talking about was looking for the long and ISO on consolidation. That's probably good enough. I'm going to jump in the 150s here, see if I can't get something long. I didn't want to reverse it right away off the short. I just wanted to see it bounce, show a little strength. Maybe I'll pick up a few shares at 161 as well. And then there was it was PRQR. I don't even know the name of the company, to be honest with you. Bounce off 65, still holding that 28, 280. So I want to see it break this channel to the downside, and then I still like this one to the short because I think there's a lot of room to fall if it does break this channel to the downside. So I'm still looking for the breakdown short in PRQR. As a matter of fact, I'm going to set my stop order now.
All right, just real quick here, AMD. So I've pulled that order now at 30, and I put it right here at 19. So, oh, there it is. So there it is, a nice one. And again, like, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, because look at this. We talked. I gave you. Like, I don't know, what else are we supposed, like, what else am I supposed to do let's just be perfectly honest here. Like, we just talked about the risk of this trade. You know, we talked about going long at 80 and giving it to 65. That's 15 cents worth of risk, okay? We are now in the money 35 cents. So we're already 2-to-1 plus on this trade for AMD. So, you know, stay focused, stay in your lane, guys. You know, make the trades that you like to make, and hopefully this is what, you know, what comes of it all. Meanwhile, Apple's saying hold my beer as well. Nice move upside for Apple. And then look at Meta. Money. Meta right now $1.90 in the money, as there goes Meta to the upside off of that. I didn't think we'd have this big of a move back, or else I'd be like, now trying to get some out, because you're right back at this level right now. But, you know, we don't have that much, so now we sort of got to let it go. We kept getting out like every 10 cents on the way up, which is good, right? Like out at the 200 period. I'll do that all the way out there. This is like a VWAP out for me, and now we've cranked higher than that, and it is still working. And there, remember the target I gave for AMD, guys? Well, that target's still in play right now on AMD. Like, oops, that's Meta. On AMD, when I entered this trade, we zoomed it back out, and I was like, what about right into here, 30s? Well, there it is right there. We pulled the trigger a little too quick there on that trade, but it came back in. Good trade for that. And by the way, just for you, Diamond Realty of Miami. So I have here Super Bowls won by teams, right? Okay, so I'm just going to try to find Miami here. So Pittsburgh, New England, San Francisco, Dallas, Giants, Packers. So that's good, only 4. But then all the way down here, there's Miami. I like Miami. Look, Miami's my daughter's favorite team because we went to visit Miami, and she loves Miami. She also loves Dolphins.
Every kid loves Dolphins.
Not everybody, but most people love Dolphins, I would say for sure. And there it is right there, Miami Dolphins with 2. Neil, I'm not going to look for the Bills, but hopefully this year gets added to the list.
At this point, like, if you're a Bills fan, like I've heard it all. It is what it is.
But the thing is, part about being a fan is like you go through those.
Exactly.
And it's like, that's what it's about.
You're not a real fan if you only support the team when they win. Like, no. Come on, man, that's not a real fan.
And the thing is, the NFL is crazy because I remember watching Part of the Interruption and all these things. Like, the minute Dak went down, everybody was like, okay, well, Dallas might as well tank now, and blah, 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 and then this and that. And then Cooper Rush comes in and goes 3 of 4 or 3 of 5 wins. And then, boom, back comes Dak, and then they still lose to Green Bay. But Dallas should have a good playoff run in it, especially, did they announce that Hurts is
the last I heard, Jalen Hurts is probably not playing this weekend. Which sucks because he probably carried a lot of people.
That's the worst for fantasy, man. You're like Kyler Murray going down, Jalen Hurts going down, Jonathan Taylor going down. Like those are Dameon
Pierce, Tyler Lockett. It's actually not.
I was just going to say that like those guys are huge guys, obviously in fantasy as well. But most of those guys are first-round picks.
Yeah.
Murray, Hurts, Taylor. There's another quarterback.
I'll tell you
that I'm forgetting about.
I'll tell you who's not hurt: Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes.
Man, AFC is going to be crazy. And then Burrow now, like the way these guys are playing.
I love Gardner Minshew, by the way. Someone just said
he
Minshew's
is announced as a starter. Okay.
That guy's cool as shit, man. Let's be real
over
for a
under
second.
275 yards.
Well, I mean,
I don't know what the odds are.
I don't like him that much. But
no, I was going to say under because Dallas.
No, it's a Dallas D. I don't like him that much. He's
I
a
just
cool
got
dude,
that. My
man.
wife just mentioned that to me. School's closed now in preparation of storm tomorrow.
Is it that bad?
Like I finally get a day off.
They're going to cancel. Hold on,
you laughing, Fahad?
Is it just Toronto or everybody?
Probably, I don't know what it is. You have to look it up. I don't know.
Oh, they changed my schedule for the train.
But I finally get a day off, and now the kids are going to be like, yo, Dad, play Smash Bros. Like, yo, what are we doing? Let's do this. But I like those kind of days anyways, so it's fine.
Yeah, it's fun.
But we were going to possibly go out for breakfast, but with this storm, of course, we won't be doing that. Oh, that panettone.
Make French toast with the panettone.
I mean, good.
No, we're making the panettone.
I was going to ask you.
So actually, oddly enough, we're going to do, our plan is to do, switching it up. We're going to do breakfast for dinner tomorrow.
Breakfast for dinner? I don't mind that.
And so we're going to do the panettone tomorrow night for dinner. We're going to do like, some eggs, sausage, and then we'll have the French toast.
Yeah, your daughter's going to love that because
you
already told me she's a French toast fan.
She loves French toast.
And then Luca brought the chocolate. Okay, apparently Brendan sitting over there wondering what we're talking about Super Bowls. And
was there a throw to Brendan?
I believe there was. Let's go now before he gives us that look.
I was just reminiscing about snow days and how great those were. I was reading through a spending bill, guys. The U.S. Senate passed a $1.7 trillion spending bill, sent it to the House today. In that bill includes the banning of TikTok. So if it goes to the House and they do pass that bill, obviously, there will be ramifications for some of the social media names. That came out right here for Meta on that volume spike. So again, the $1.7 trillion spending bill going to now the House from the Senate that was passed today includes apparently the banning of TikTok.
That's okay. So that was that story there about. I don't think that's why. I mean, Meta is going to be ripping on that news, but I mean the futures are also ripping right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So to me that's pretty good. We're out of half of our AMD, but I just noticed right now. I mean, I didn't notice just right now, but AMD. I'm gonna take another piece out right now as we head into the power hour. And sometimes you sort of retrace back to the mean a little bit right here, which is supposed to be what VWAP is. So we've already now retraced back to the mean right here. And now we're going to give it a go, get out, see if we can hold the rest. We're now out. I mean, we gave this trade and talked all about it. We're now 3-1 on the risk to reward on this teal. As if, like, that was a pretty good out. Let's see if it holds. But we just got out at 30 and it just touched 20 there. So there we go. Like, sometimes dimes might not mean anything to many of you traders. But again, to Neil and I, depending on, share size and the stock you're trading, sometimes you do want to take some of that profit out. But we're holding we're holding AMD for a longer move. But hey, when your goals are hit, you take the profit. And Fahad, you can laugh all you damn well want, but when your daughter grows up, no, because as soon as he found out that I had the day off and my kids are going to be running around, pulling out whatever hair I have left, I heard that chuckle over there. But when his kid, and I see Mark over there, Mark knows what it's all about.
I can't wait till she grows up, Fahad. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
You're not going to be talking as much smack as you
Fahad,
do.
in the new year, bring that baby back, man. I want to
wait till she can move. That is, everyone's like, I can't wait till my child can walk. Everything changes when you can't turn your back for 2 seconds.
Fahad's kid started walking yesterday,
Do some more of that cardio, bro. You're going to need it. I'm dead serious. By the way,
that's what I want to talk about.
By the way, thank you, Fahad. Fahad brought donuts for all of us.
But I did want to address that.
Which I'm happy about.
Because,
by the way, I want to ring one register.
Ripping.
ISO bounced VWAP. I'm going to take some out in front of 170. Carvana's starting to go, but that's not quite far enough just yet. As CVNA, type it right, Neil. There we go. Get it right. Hit enter twice. That's starting to break out from that 4 level. I want to get 8s, 11s, up here 15, 16. See if that can actually extend a little bit further. But ISO, Carvana, CCL doesn't seem to be doing anything. It's just sitting right in the channel. Maybe that one's going to be the bit of a dog.
Man, I literally, with some of these longs that we put on at the bottom, really saved my day completely here, where it's much more reasonable sort of making back some of that cash that we had lost early, a lot of it back. So it's been a good one. We're going to watch out for Apple here. I'm just going to try to let everything sort of settle down here into the close, make the right trades, and just we're pretty light on everything right now. Ape is doing nothing, so just checking back in on that. Let's go find another trade. We're still waiting. What? Okay, Tesla's right here, right now. We're pennies away from getting into Tesla. I was just checking back on it. There it is. Are we in now? Nope. Okay, thought we were. Now we're in. Okay, there it is. So now we're in right now on Tesla. So let's go, man. We have this name in, and we're just gonna let to see what happens here on Tesla. We're now into this. And again, let's just do the work together here so that, we don't get any investigations. Right down here, look, I'm going to get out right here as we go. So I'm into Tesla. That's the 50 period. It's a weak name today. Duh, says Captain Obvious. So let's hold it out. If we break below, let's just use some of these levels, man, as some of our outs. So I'm thinking 124.80. We break below 124.80, we're gone. Until then, we're into Tesla, and let's go Tesla right now. Bring some of this back in our pocket. Hopefully we don't jinx this trade. Meta ripping, Tesla trying to go as well. Let's get to the upside here, Tesla.
I was just going to look at Snapchat, but someone asked about Unity. So we don't mind looking at different stocks. Oh yeah, I see exactly what you're getting at with Unity, because this is very similar to break to what Carvana is doing right now. Get a key level, consolidate in the morning there, try to break it out. If this move continues, I don't mind that. Like, it's 26.90, you got 27 in there, but that's definitely a good level. Snapchat, I was just talking trash about it. What's about to go green? That's a real move off the low. Bottom to top on Snapchat. High of the day sits at 865. Look, if it doesn't go through the high of the day, there's not a heck of a lot to have. You got 870 up here on yesterday's high. So at this point, it's probably more of a pullback trade or an 870 breakout. But Snapchat, let's acknowledge the fact, market's down 3%. This is almost green on the session. On that news, this moved. Meta barely moved at all. By the way, Micron out at 49. It's at 49.50. It gets to $50. You know exactly what I'm doing at that price.
All right, let's go, man. Let's go. Right now, here we go. Market is starting to go up. We just got a bunch out there at 60 for Tesla. Again, you know, I told you that we're going to be trying to scalp this name out. I just put another order near 126 for an out, but there's the long right there back in. And again, long 20s, out 80s, that's 40 cents, right? So there's the 40 cents. We're out of half of this trade for that 40-cent win at 60. So let's see if it gets back up to the upside. That's 60. Actually, these are 55. Out. So we got a piece out at 45, piece out at 55, piece out at 65. Now let's continue to go to the upside, because we're just running 1-to-1 right now. That's what we're doing here on Tesla with now upside. With now upside. You play with house money at some point. So now we're doing that. We're playing with house money. As I said, man, I like the trade here. Let's see if we can get that going here for Tesla. Now back to the upside. We're waiting in the 90s now. I feel like you're right, Paul. Like, honestly, I feel like we're a little too late on this Tesla move, which is exactly the reason why I'm trying to scalp some out, right? It's all about those gift horses, and honestly, like, when you get that money and now you can play with house money, it's like gambling. It's like you're at that casino, right? Like, you know, you're on a heater, you take some profit out, put the rest in your pocket, now you're playing there with house money. So that's exactly what we've done now on good old Tesla. Same AMD. Like, you want to talk about a banger? Let's go. What are the likes at right now? Like, some of these winners we've like, I don't want to say we, but, you know, Neil's giving you winners, I've given you winners. We have to be careful. Compliance said we can't use we too much. But right there, 62.80 right there. Look at this trade. $1.80 now in the money on this AMD trade as well. $2.20 in the money on Meta, as it's starting to go back up to the upside as well. Apple, $1.50. Ape, 17 cents, nothing. Meta, Google, Tesla. Let's get Tesla going. We need to get this into the 90s to get out a little bit here.
Yeah, speaking of things that need to get going, wow, Micron's very close to $50. I have to short it at that price. That is my line in the sand. It's just too big of a level not to. It is absolutely screaming to the upside. I was going to look at Intel, but I almost don't care. When I see that kind of a parabolic move happening, that is outpacing the market. Look, I'm going to have Unity if Unity breaks, but I'm not really seeing it happen just yet. If it gets there, you're actually getting a bit of a reversal on Snapchat. I feel like this could pull back in before there's a bit of a long with the market slowing down. I always like this setup, fail at the high, wick top, and then try to jump into a short, give it to the high of the day, risk about 5 pennies, pull it back in. That's about 2-to-1. So I'm going to take a shot shorting Snapchat here. It's also on Flash News. A lot of times I like that play off of Flash News play. Netflix. Yeah, I like 94. You know what? I should probably cancel the. You know, I never got the Netflix trade in there, so I'll cancel the 94s. Missed it. Cancel the 95s. It already went to 97, right? Like, that's a $3 move. I'm not chasing a $3 move, and if it pulls back $2, I don't know that I want it. If it pulls back $2, that would be too harsh of a dip over there on Netflix. So just jumped into Snapchat off the high of the day to the south side, but I'm no longer going to buy that dip on Netflix. Unity just broke. So I just grabbed some 91s, and Brendan's got something for us.
I'm finding it hard to find anything on this, but a huge move here, guys, for MPW right now, which is a medical property trust. Looks like they're in real estate for the most part, but huge move up on pretty heavy volume here for MPW in New York.
Yeah, I saw some people spamming the chat about
news
that. We can go back and look. So just we're talking about as honest as we can. We just took another out there at 60 on Tesla. It wasn't breaking, man. I mean, we got as high as 80. I thought we were getting our fill at the 90s there. We didn't get it. So I took another out. So I'm actually out now of 80% of this Tesla trade right there, 20, 40, 60, 80. We were holding, I told you we're holding half. And then now we got out and now we're only holding, we weren't actually holding half, we were holding 40% at that time. But there it is right there, the last piece. And now we're right here. So, hey, if we still break below this 80 mark, then yeah. That's a spot where we're going to get out. So we still have our out there for Tesla, but just to give you guys an update that, we did get out there at 60, another piece. So that's what happened right there. Because like I said, this market, it's 314 now. We're going to figure that out. Here's the notable list of 52-week lows today, guys. Tesla, Amazon, I mean, there's going to be a lot of names. Tesla, Amazon, Disney, Airbnb, Coin. We talked about CrowdStrike yesterday. GameStop, Lucid, 52-week low. Micron, 52-week low. Plug Power, PayPal, Rivian, Zoom, and Roku. Rounds out the disaster squad as right there. And imagine, I own pretty much all of those names. Like, that's pretty bad. Not all of them. I don't own Airbnb or Coin anymore, but I do own Salesforce. I don't own CrowdStrike, but I do own Palo Alto. Plug, no. PayPal, yes. Rivian, no. Roku, no. Zoom, no. But wow, dangerous games here today in the market, as this has been a pretty violent one. There's the move back up to the upside as we just dipped again to 125 on Tesla.
Yeah, so I was able to get that Unity after all. Like, it's not a good list of names, but believe me, like, everybody's quote board looks exactly the same. Like, I probably have just a few different names on my quote board. What difference does it make? There's nothing green on the damn thing anyway. So that's not true. There was a couple of names that were green on the day. I'll revisit that in a second.
Actually, there's good ones now.
Unity's up at 27. There's a few. I actually want to get to it because there are a few. Unity's starting to get upside here. I want to take some at 27 and then like 27.10 and then like 27.25. I mean, that's kind of obvious. But it isn't all bad. Ape, obviously. Remember Cleveland Cliffs, which we didn't really talk about much? Yep. Up 10% on the day. FedEx up 2%. This is the one that, like, if you can explain to me why Nikola's up 2.5%, somebody please explain that one to me. That makes no damn sense.
What is?
Nikola's up 2.5% today. And the market doesn't have to actually make sense. I understand that. I'm not a person that actually thinks that, oh yeah, this company is good or bad, makes money, doesn't make money. It should be up, it shouldn't be down in that situation. But on a day like today, I'm just like, what am I missing about Nikola today? What am I missing? I'm missing something because.
Well, what's Riv? Was it? Oh yeah, Rivian's
no, but
getting killed.
Like, this stock is up 15% from the bottom. Like, it was getting its butt kicked like everybody else, and now it's breaking out the highs. So you explain to me why Nikola's breaking out the highs, because I have no bloody clue.
I just thought of something, actually.
You have? Oh, really?
Yeah.
No,
it's not. It's nothing actually that good.
Oh.
No. It's like, like you have the bat signal.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do this. Like, we don't know what's going on with Nikola, so I'm going to hit the bat signal. Right, there comes Brendo in there,
so
right?
How come I don't have the Brendan?
I don't know. The same reason why I don't have the Santa Claus here.
Well, neither of us have.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was getting at. All right, Tesla's still bouncing, nicely done.
Unity.
Back up. Yeah, Unity. You have that one? That's ripping. Yeah, all these names.
You know what?
I
really just want a ring that says Unity on it, like Rick James, because that would make that gag so much better. But
AMD now 75 cents in the money and still going high side right now. And I just want to say, like, yeah, Brendan should wear this hat. What hat is this? Oh, it just says R. Oh, it must be from Rascals or something. I don't know what's that. I don't know what that's from. But all right. Yeah, look. Yeah, that's the Chappelle Show. Oh, maybe you guys that haven't been here, we do random stuff like that all of the time.
That's true.
Here. But all right, you're welcome. I want to say a big shout out to James. Thank you so much for your kind comments in the chat. You thanked me for this AMD trade. And look, it broke down perfectly fine. I just got to, honestly, you can always put on more shares. That's always going to be my sort of my story of the not having enough on board when this does happen. But there's the move upside. We actually planned this pretty much perfectly. Our first out was at 63 with that 1-to-1 as we talked about. Then there's 63.20 at 2-to-1. And now our risk on this trade was 85s to, I mean, we were going to hold it to this probably 65 break, so 20 cents. You're now in the money, $1. That's a 5-to-1 right there, risk to reward ratio. So we're going to keep spinning these things for you. And again, you know, someone in the chat was like, well, hey man, if you went long anything an hour ago, you're in the money. Yeah, and guess what I went long? Apple, AMD, Meta, and Tesla. So yeah, we're in the money, and I hope you guys are as well. It's not a competition. Hopefully you guys went long an hour ago. That's it, man. When we started the show, the market started to rip up, and you could see what we have on as Tesla. Let's go, man. I'm honestly, that's 126.60. Pass. I want higher than that. What about 127? Let's get a little more greedy here and try to get a 127 offer here on Tesla. So yeah, big time upside move right now. Right back to the high. We got this one, guys, I think.
Yeah, I just got a couple more legs. Just got another leg out there on Unity. That one's looking pretty solid, but CCL only broke out just now, which is a little bit late to the party. So it just broke the channel and starting to go to VWAP. So if it's relatively weak, I was thinking $8 before. Now I'm kind of thinking it might have to drag toward VWAP. ISO was able to catch a reload there. I like VWAP on it the first time. Enter. I like VWAP on it the second time. So if I can't get those 65s back, I don't know if we see the high of the day on this again. That feels like it's a little bit greedy to think that that's going to be the case, so I'm not going to look for it. But guess what's getting close to $50? Micron is screaming now. Like, sometimes the best trade you make is a trade you don't make, which would be shorting it anywhere in between here, or just getting out of something that's wrong. If you don't get out of it, then it's all the way at 50 and you're short at 49. Now when it gets to 50, instead of sitting here having it against me, I can make a fresh trade off the 50 level, which has been pretty good all day long here on Micron, but it's getting pretty darn close, and I do have to respect it. Market is pretty strong. I want to see some of these names that are squeezing higher go to next level up. Like, I'm not getting any more shares out till we clear the next level on Carvana. And the one short that I do have here, well, Lucid, I'm going to reload if it goes to 7. But Snapchat, with this market bounce, is still working off of that high. So it got to the high of the day on that news, the TikTok ban news. Consolidation break lower. As the market continues to go higher, it's not making fresh highs. So nothing about that is terribly concerning, though my stop is just going to be at that high of the day anyway. So relatively simplistic style trade there over in Snapchat. I do want to have my eyeballs on Meta if I'm trading Snap, because one of the things that'll happen, I have bids out on Snapchat. If Meta rolls over to VWAP, I'm very likely to want to cancel close bids on Snapchat and give it a little bit more room to go. So I am watching some of the big cap tech names that might have a sympathy play for that short. I was just talking about Unity and getting the next level up, and it gave the next level up. So Unity continues to go higher and higher. It's down 5%, but at this point, clean channel break to the upside. Both Unity and Carvana did the same thing.
All right, man. I mean, bang. Tesla now $1 in the money, going to the upside now. $3 in the money for Meta, $1.50 in the money for AMD and Apple, and Ape doing nothing. Let's find some more trades. So let's try to, like, is there something that we could fade that's, you know, really, like Micron, you know, I know there's reasons to be short Micron because of their report. As that comes all the way back, I know Neil's been talking about this, but I was just thinking about, like, what are some names that, you know, generally speaking, I want to fade any of the moves up? It probably would be that. Did Tesla just stop at 126.50 right there, by the way? Making me think about, okay. See, so this is life of a scalper, by the way, right now. So like we're right into here right now at this level. Okay, here we go. We're going to break it. Wow, I'm pretty happy about this trade. I've made back a lot of money here in the afternoon. I hope you guys have as well. We talked about the market being down 3%. Well, it's starting to get back to the upside right now. Don't fail again. All right, you know what? I'm going to All right, well, I was just about to get out and it just went up another 10 cents here for Tesla. Let's keep on going. All right. I see you, Tesla. Nice little move back up to the upside right there. Now I'm thinking about, let's just get some out here at 50, put this $1.50 in our pocket right now. We'll do that. There it is. We'll cash out a little bit. We're still holding it, so don't worry, guys. But again, this is already another 3-to-1 winner for you. 3-to-1 risk to reward right now as it's going back up to the upside. And we don't have enough on board again. But there it goes. Nice out for me there on Tesla as that's starting to go back up to the upside. And let's go. Hold on, I got to do this first. Brendan?
Hi, guys. I was looking at Nikola here. There was a note this morning. I saw somebody mention Nikola there. There was a note this morning that came out pre-market talking about the FCEV. I'll show you that in a sec. But they've applied for this truck to be recognized as an authorized vehicle under the HVIP, which is one of those clean energy funding type vehicles. So that's that. They're semi, I guess. So they filed that for this to be recognized as an actual clean energy vehicle. So Nikola, just breaking out, guys, on huge volume here to the upside.
I don't know. Like, my first gut is, I don't know that you want to fade anything that's broken the top right now because the market's pretty strong. But everything about that just makes me say, let's look for some shorts in Nikola. Maybe that'll have to wait for tomorrow because if you're breaking the tops, this is not the time. Anything breaking out levels, this is not the kind of reverse rally that you want to step in front of. You want something in front of a resistance still. Snapchat hasn't broken the high of the day. Micron hasn't broken 50, but Nikola, my chart's on Unity here, but Nikola has broken out. It's still a NASDAQ stock. Give me a break. That Nikola's breaking out. If it was beneath 250, I'd be short here and been looking for a retracement. But that's not at all what you're getting. If anything, it would have to be at like 285 or 290 to take any kind of short like that. We're going to take advantage of this move up. I got to get some offers out on CCL. That's a little bit ridiculous. And I might have been a little bit too patient with Micron. I was like, I need to actually see it closer to 50. It's starting to turn here at 75. So the last time I missed it because earlier in the day, I wanted right up to 50 because it went to 50, and then I missed a reload at 49.80, and it feels like I might be doing the exact same thing here on Micron. So I might just start a little bit. It is getting close to the end of the day. So this is when I can think there is a bit of a turn. I don't want to chase it too far down here, but try to get something in front of that 70 even. This always happens. It's like I should have just punched short when I was starting this thought instead of waiting around, but I'm not going to chase it too far. Mid-60s is about as far as I want to go here. And as we start to come back in, I just got, look, I'm all out of Unity as well, so we're getting right back in, market making some of those highs. Still have ISO, Carvana, and CCL, but Unity stair-stepped it up on that break. If it starts holding some of these breakout levels for support, I think we could dig into this, but I want to see how the market reacts to this pullback that I think is happening.
Yeah, I think it's happening. I'm pretty sure right now. Well, who knows?
It's not that much yet.
It's not dramatic yet. Not yet. All right, I was looking at like a 60 level here for Meta just to get out. I mean, it's been a huge move up to 117, honestly. Like I told you, I got out here at 115.80 thinking that move was over. And then it's like over. What are you smoking? Right up to the upside to 117 again. So I feel like this 116 area, something 116.50, something like that on a pullback could be, an area there to get out. But yeah, we've already talked about that Google with the NFL, so that's another deal there. But yeah, just looking at some of these longs that have really come in here. Ape, by the way, there it is, man. It is starting to. I'm going to do this. I don't know if we're going to moon or not, but there's Ape, again, another name that's just got back to this area. This is probably a good out here for APE as it just took out this level of 30 or bounced off the level of 30 that we had right there. Hold on a second, Fawad. All right, what's up, Brando?
I just saw a few of these, actually, some of the crypto names popping up. Here's Coinbase, guys, on a volume spike back to 34.75. That led me to this. Here's Bitcoin trying to pop back above 16,800. A little bit of a rally anyways in crypto stocks.
Oh, I haven't looked at Coinbase pretty much since the morning. Oh, wow. That's actually pretty. Okay, that's not a bad bounce. Man, there's some things there's bounces off the lows, but then there's things that have broken VWAP and gotten right back to the open prices. I still didn't get that Micron. Give me a break. Where's my fill? I'm trying to get on 65s here on Micron, but I still have not gotten that fill. I reloaded Lucid in front of 7 even. So up on this little move, I've got Snapchat, I've got Lucid, the short, still had those 3 longs, and then looking to add a couple of shorts in there. Coin would need to be 35, I think, if I wanted to add that one in there. So I'm not gonna go short on Coinbase. A lot of times you want it to really exhaust that move. Finally, CCL gets to VWAP. That's a really slow grind up. The first 5 pennies on CCL. We're going to continue to get this one out on the way to $8. Just get some orders out there so I don't have to manage it too much. But it's had some more trouble than some of the other names out there, unfortunately. And when I think travel, I usually think Boeing. No, Boeing's not really as strong. Yeah, Boeing's still showing a lot of weakness. It's been so strong the last couple of days, and I feel like that's part of the problem, that it just needs to find itself a base. Because this stock, like Boeing, since that you-know-what bottom back at like 120, that almost hit $200. And I feel like there's probably some profit takers out there in Boeing. So, yeah, not really any good levels I see on Boeing for the long side. CCL, we'll see about that turnaround. Micron, probably too conservative on that short. Looks like it's starting to go without me here. I'll still try to leave the offers in off that high of the day, but if I don't get it, I don't get it. It was a strong move to the upside. You know, I feel like if I stepped in too early and it didn't work, all I'd be talking about is the extra amount that I lost because I was short too far away from 50.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, like we keep saying, man, no matter what this market's doing, stick to your plan. And then, you know, if it works, it works. It didn't work this morning, but it's working now. So, so far, so good. A name that I want to short here is going to be Airbnb. It just went right back up to 85 again. So, you know, this is a level here. I think I like this for short. Airbnb has gotten really hit the last couple of days. Obviously, there's what it looks like on the daily chart. Pretty negative. I mean, monster rally back, still down that 3% today. And looking at, I mean, I like when we top wick like this. It's like we just had a nice little wick there of 85. So, you know, right back down. I'm going to sit there, and I got to be a little more aggressive. Like I'm at, what am I at here? I'm at, just put the order in actually, 75, 76. That's a mistake. Should be at 75. So let's see about fixing that. I guess I'm not going to get my AMD fill lower now. But then we're going to try to go short Airbnb. All right, just an update here. There goes, I mean, Apple is absolutely gone. Oh, the Leafs are playing now? Oh.
Why are they playing now?
1-1 against Philly right now. All right, I didn't realize that. Okay, so nice little move upside. Right now, I guess heading into the Christmas holiday, they're probably just getting all their games done now. All right, that's 132. I mean, I was going to give it back down to here to break this 50 period. But now that I see this, man, I mean, maybe, yeah, there it is right there on the 3-minute chart. You know, just that's VWAP. So I was going to give this down a little bit lower than 132 to get out of this name. Let's just see if it wants to work. It's not, doesn't want to right now, apparently. Apes at that level. And then do I have an out for AMD? Yeah, this looks like a pretty good out as well, breaking back down below 63.75. So again, you know, we've really rolled these to the upside. Let's just not give anything back. That's 63.75 on a break lower for AMD. Brendo?
Just looking at this APCX, few people mentioning just took out the high of day there on a volume spike. Not seeing anything as far as reason for this, but 2 or 3 days in a row here, late in the session, it's worth noting, this APCX has made a move.
APCX. And the time is 3:31. We are trading live at TraderTV Live, and I have continued the streak. I trade Intel every single day, and I'm in Intel again. It only took all day long, but I didn't get into Micron. I'm like, well, what's very similar to Micron that if it's at a level I would want to short? Well, Intel, and it was right at 26 bucks. I mean, go figure, right? Right at $26. I just grabbed it here at 96. Want to see it roll over. This is the problem. Like, you know, a lot of times if you know where it is that you want to go, then it's not that difficult. Like I still like Micron up in here, but at this point, I'll just go ahead and cancel those because I probably wouldn't want to trade both. You know, it starts to curl already. It's the leader kind of because it's the one that reported earnings, and Intel's at an even dollar that you can take advantage. So just jump over to that one. I just grabbed it. Lucid in here. Lucid off of $7. I was out in front of it because I knew I wanted 7. I didn't add on the way back into the downside. But for just about every one of these moves, I'm thinking like VWAP retracement. Like the kind of bounce that we had here, I just don't feel like we're headed back to the low of the day. Imbalances also come out in 20 minutes. That's the other thing. So VWAP retracements will be plenty good for me. Just take what you can get out of this reversal short. However, the one short that I put on at the top, which is not really working, is Snapchat. It's not really breaking to the downside. All you're doing is going sideways. Doesn't break the high. Doesn't even retest the low like that. When I got in, that was the best flush, and that was essentially like it dropping like 4 cents. So I don't know if Snapchat wants to go here. It had a positive catalyst. No reloading Snapchat. No averaging into Snapchat. This one's not going like Lucid is pulling back and Intel's pulling back. If Snap doesn't want to do it, I'm not going to get stubborn. I'll just get out.
Maybe we'll get our Airbnb. You know, I mean, we can look to short RIVN as well. Maybe I was just looking, but like you just said about the imbalances. Like the imbalances will change absolutely everything, and that's. You know, that's part of the risk here when we're trading, right, is that we have to trade against these imbalances that come out at 350. So right now it's 333, so about 15 more minutes. I mean, any of these, this is what I was looking for. Like names that I am typically short and that are not, you know, going to work, obviously, in this environment when the NASDAQ is down and getting killed. RIVN is just one of those names, man. We've been short, like I said, remember I was talking about 10 straight days? I mean, it's probably more than that. You have a little mix there. It's probably like 15. It's probably like 18 of the last 20 days. If not, I mean, if you go back here, I mean, how many? So this goes back to November 16th. We have 1, 2, 4 days in 5 weeks. So 4 days out of 25 or so. Straight downside for RIVN. So yeah, anything up here, again, is great short. Would have loved to have those indicated there. But again, we don't have them, so which is fine. Just right now, not printing very good for us here, RIVN. If it can get back up to the upside. Do I even have shortable shares in that name is another question. Okay, the market's coming.
We definitely have to pay.
Oh, do we? No, we didn't the other day.
I thought we did.
No, we didn't,
yeah.
But maybe we do. 131.79. We're getting very close. That's that period right there on Apple on the 1 minute. It's VWAP. We take down that. We're out of that. Update on Tesla. Tesla out on this break of the 50 period as well. Good thing we took that out there. Really a game changer for me getting that out. Excuse me. We were choked on something there. We were going to not get out at that high, but then look, stick with your rules. There it is right there. We've already been up to 126.60. So when we made that trade, came back in, we're going to try to respect that 125.50. Getting close to getting out of Apple. And then Meta, I thought I had a more of aggressive out than this. The same play, man. They're all the same. They're all at this 50 period. So if it comes back down to the 50 period, we'll get out. We've given back 20, 30 cents on each of these names, but hey, that's been fine. The run-up has been incredible here, so we'll get out pretty soon of all of these. There is a short coming out where it's a reel that I did with Fahad, where he makes his play. You got to make sure to follow me at TraderTV Shawn. Follow the main account as well. He gives you his play for 2023.
Well, I kind of heard it, so.
Yeah, so don't say it.
I wouldn't say it.
There it is, out of Apple right now. That's a positive stock for us today. Out of all of that shoot that we went through in the morning here on Apple, all of this crap, it just takes that one trade, puts us back to Positiveville on Apple here today. So that was a good one. Oh, Tesla just came out. So there it is. We'll go another one on Tesla to end the day there. That just came out, so we're done. Clean up all your trades. That's what I'm going to do right now. Make sure I don't have any pending orders left.
Yeah, cancel, stops, all that kind of thing. You want to make sure you're doing that. So I'm not out of Carvana. The 4 break can't seem to take 410 here. So I'm going to have to respect the fact that it doesn't want to get past that 410 level and just get it out. You got to take what the market's going to give you. Intel, this one is working. I'll get to Snapchat in a second, but Intel starting to work down. I still think VWAP makes sense. 26, 25.90, 25.80. I usually find Intel's pretty simplistic, although the difference I'll make here is every 5 pennies I'm going to want to get out because it's tight to the close, unfortunately. Lucid was the other one that we grabbed the short on. I took a couple of legs out at 690, just recognizing the strength in this move. And one thing I actually didn't see is like how much volume was picking up as it was getting up to that high. So I want to make sure that I'm getting out of all these in front of you up. Just be happy that we're able to get some of those tops. Unfortunately, it looks like the best short was probably Micron, the one that I missed out on. That's going to happen too. That's usually how it goes, right? Like the one that's hardest to get the fill when it's consolidating off the top is generally speaking the one that's going to fall a little bit further. Not that hard to get into Intel, so maybe it doesn't show as much weakness, unfortunately for me. Carvana, I might just punch out of CCL. You know, CCL, like it barely went to VWAP. Like it's barely in the money. Everything else was running and only went a few cents there. I might just get out of it. It's just like this one's too much of a, we always say if it's not moving, just walk away from it. Like you don't have to be in the trade. You don't have to hold on to the trade. All it can be sometimes is a bit of a distraction. So I'm going to cancel these. The next move to the upside, I'll probably just get on the midpoint and get out.
AMC to the upside as well a little bit
AMC.
here for, not really, just 475. It's really, you know, rolled this 50 period nicely to the upside right now as that's continuing to go. Sometimes, anyway, just looking at that for those of you, you had that 480 top, so that could come in again there at 480. We just got out of something else right there. Meta broke, so Meta breaks lower there. Again, no problem. This is what Meta wants to do, man. It wants to break lower, so we get out of that. And you know what? It's kind of like, we say this, I say this all the time, go short. Like, if you get a trade in there that reverses the other way, like, that was my out. I could have just hit the short and making another 70 cents.
The afternoons are
on
like
reversing that, into the short there. Like, that would have worked. The Apple would have worked. There's a 130, 170 out.
I wanted to shout out BFanatic.
Sure.
So BFanatic put it in here, and I meant to, when you put it in the chat, I meant to pull it up to give you a shout out and go do this for you, because you talked. This, I love when I see this. Look, come to my chart for a second, guys. Look at SoFi and look at the $4.50 level. Now this is not me trading it. I didn't have this trade, but I saw BFanatic in the chat put it out here. 450 breakdown. Look what happens when it reverses. Consolidation break. $4.50.
Yep.
Like, sometimes just keep it simple, man. Like, that's not a complicated trade at all. This consolidation break happens, you go long, it goes to the high of the day, you get out on the way up, scalp central. That's all you really need, guys. And I love seeing that, man. It's just, like, that's what trading's about. Like, find the most simplistic strategy that you can repeat, that you find success with, and just do that. Don't worry about the complicated trade. Don't try to be smarter than the market. Just try to make money, man. Like, at the end of the day, it's hard outsmarting the market because, quite frankly, there's too many algos out there that are out there trying to chew you up. We hear Lucas. One of the things I love that Lucas says is he calls it like warfare. There are more and more automated traders in algos than there ever were. So that's what you're up against. So you want types of moves where you're probably going to be going up against the obvious as opposed to the complex. And something like that on SoFi, it's a little more of that easy, obvious. This reversal has been fantastic in general, but there are some moves which are easier to get than others.
Yeah, for sure. Man. Yeah, and you don't have to be too complicated with things. That's why with only 10 minutes left, you can see the only position we have left is Ape, and that's kind of turning around a little bit, not really, for us here as it's bouncing right there. So I'm going to do the same trade I did before. Let's get out of Ape. I'm just going to put my order in. I don't even have it in yet. I still have the dollar break. Look, we're 20% in the money on this Ape, but let's just go 119. If 119 breaks, we will get out of Ape. So there it is right there as we continue to clean up some of our trades now. If you are looking for some longs, I think everything that I basically got out of, you can probably get back into as the market's trying to bounce. But again, maybe the intensified selling comes back into Tesla at some point. So again, just got in, out again there. So that's a really good trade. And there's the 200 period bouncing off again, basically 125. If you really want to take the risk, I don't want to do this right now, but maybe, what's that, 125? Okay, well, it looks like we're going to break a little bit lower now. Maybe this does come in. Oh, did we get a number from Brendo at 340? We probably did. I just didn't see it.
It's not,
9 million.
I was going to say it's not worth it.
9 million to sell. Yeah, probably not worth it. You're probably right on that one. 124.80 break. Yeah, so we're right here on Tesla. I think this is probably worth a little bit of a short here. Looks like it is going to break right now to the downside. So let's try it. Whoops. Got short there 90s on Tesla. So it didn't break though. Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's just see. I mean, we're basically just playing with it fire right now. But let's go. So our out, honestly, what is that, 40s? Let's go 50 cents again. So there's the 50 cent play. Again, we think we can get down to 124. So we'll give it a little bit of love back here to 125.40, which is where that, that 50 period is. So 125.40, we're out. Let's hold the short in case that comes back in for our friend Tesla.
Yeah, so two things. One, I'm going to do this one. I'll power up, and We're right to VWAP on Lucid here. I'm just going to get out on this bid. Just took it out, but you'll see I also got out of something else because you know what? You don't have to be in it, man. This is just everything else that hit a top rolled over, except for Snapchat. It continues to consolidate off that side. So just I don't have to be in the trade, man. I got in, I got out at exactly the same price. Like to me, that is a win to get out flat when it's not working. Like if you can take a trade that you were wrong on and get out flat, that's not that bad at all. Market is continuing to come down here. I just have Intel and Carvana, but as we pull back, it's Carvana that, you know, it's probably not rocket science where I want to get out of CVNA. I'm just going to go break even. It was $4 on a break. It's still a New York stock, Neil. It was $4 on a break, so I want to give it back to $4. I did scalp most of it out, so I'll give the last right back into 4. If it can hold 4, fair enough, but it gives me an idea where I can trail it to. And then if it wants to continue to go higher, fair enough. But I want to give this last little bit into break even on Carvana. The short and Intel starting to work out, but these are the only two things I have left. I don't know that I'd get anything else new unless it was reacting to something at 350, which with a 9 million sell imbalance is probably
not going to be anything here. All right, yeah, guys, yeah, keep the positivity alive, and it's been a good day so far here today. So I just wanted to update a couple things. You're going to see a different price in Tesla. Nothing's happened other than the fact that I made a keystroke error. So I put one, instead of putting 125.40, I put 124.40 as my trigger, and of course we're already above that, so it triggered, and I got taken out for 10 cents. So we got right back in. So my price is 10 cents worse now as we're short at 77 instead of 89. So either way, it's the exact same trade. I still have the same targets. Well, I'm going to average in one time right there at about 20s or 15s. It's actually is where my order is. And then giving it to this 40 break. So if we break 40, then we're going to get out of this name. And this name is Tesla, the only one that we have on board right here, into the close, as this name is down 72% year to date right now on Tesla. So not a good name there for sure today, but you know, maybe there's that bottom at 125. We'll see if it holds it heading into the weekend, which of course tomorrow, join us back at 8:30. We're almost done the day, but make sure you hit that like and that subscribe button and join us again. We broadcast all day with, you know, Luca and Sharif on the midday show this week, and then, you know, coming back next week as well for the midday show. Neil, you're here all next week, but Brendan is off next week, so Sharif's going to be at the big desk there next week.
Much
so that
deserved
should be a lot of fun.
Brendan
much deserved. Yeah. I mean, much deserved vacation for everybody.
That being said, it's been a pretty fire close. I'm not going to lie to you. Like
yes,
this is,
sir.
You know, we were talking about it in the midday how there was no V shape and how you wanted to be able to capture it. Well, there was a V shape today. There was some bottoms to be had. Look, I'm trying to get out of Intel. That's what there's better charts I could have pulled up for the long, but I happen to be looking at Intel. But this is what it's all about. I mean, I love the fact in the chat we're just talking about B Fanatics win. This is the community that we're in here, guys. We asked for one thing, and that's hit the like, hit the subscribe, take a quick second, show your appreciation for the channel. Fahad works the ones and twos and switches the show and came on here and put himself out there talking about the futures markets for you guys today. And that's what it's all about. He's like everyone else here. Like, I'm trying to learn from Beat Fanatics. You guys are trying to learn from all of us. And he's trying to learn the markets as well. And it's a pretty cool thing to be able to see that journey. We got some interesting news that's been dropping. There was the TikTok thing that Brennan dropped. You saw what happened to Snapchat when that news happened. There was a secondary move after the news dropped you could have had in Snapchat there. You guys crowdsourced Unity with us. That was a fantastic long. It's all about community, guys. As a matter of fact, Unity's turning around a little bit. That 27.30, the last out, looks like that's going to break channel back into the downside. But you had to take the trades as they presented themselves. The trend broke, and when the trend broke, you wanted to grab some of those longs. Pie in my face for missing that Micron short, but that's going to happen to you every now and then.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about that Micron short. We should have had it on. We should have had the Airbnb short on. I mean, ABNB, we talked about that one. I was just minutes late. First of all, I was going to show you the imbalances, but we're a little bit of ways away from that. Now it's come back, but I liked it up here. I don't like it now. I'm starting to cancel all these. Like, we were really close. We talked about it when I was here. I should have taken it. Would have been 60 cents, but we didn't, so whatever. On that one, we are, of course, short Tesla. We talked about that. It's the only position you can see on board for us. Well, you have Carvana and Intel, but I just got Tesla into the short right right now. Let's see if it prints into the close. Then other than that, man, it's just not much happening right here. Thanks to Trader Gorno, man. That, he just put there in the chat that he's trading, where is it? I put it in our chat right here because it means a lot to us right now. There it is right now. I'm trading better than ever. It's due to more focus, that's for sure, and having this show. So, thanks to everyone again. Thanks to Trader Joe. You're doing a great job as well on socials and everything like that with the sticky note and everything. So thank you to everybody there. And again, I'm not going to be here tomorrow, so happy holidays to everybody and Merry Christmas if you are celebrating. But
Shawn's missing Ugly Sweater Day.
Either way, I'm missing Ugly Sweater Day. Yep, that's correct. But I don't got to come in on a snowstorm. So I'm pretty happy with that, just by fluke. I don't even know how that worked out. That's a good one. And then we're waiting for Arun. I mean, I hope his flight, I haven't got any messages yet, but I hope his flight is okay. You may still be seeing me tomorrow if there is a
I actually didn't even think about that. Yeah, he has to fly in. A lot of flights, you guys were telling us a lot of flights are canceled. 5,000 flights.
Or you know what, maybe
already?
if I don't come in tomorrow, who's going to switch? Lucas is off all week.
Is off. Oh, well, I was going to say
we could have Fahad sitting here.
But Fahad's been doing unbelievable work today because Lucas is also on vacation. So he's been on the ones and twos. Fahad was switching the morning and then giving you futures levels and then jumping right back on the desk. Like, you got to give it up, man. You got to give it up. And by the way, all you apes out there, I mean, I haven't traded AMC since the morning, but it's actually still breaking higher. It never got to $5, which is kind of, at one point I was pretty convinced you would see $5. I obviously gave up that notion way too early. But yeah, it's still climbing. It's down 10%, but still climbing to the upside. I haven't checked out ape in a while. But when you see capitulation bottoms like this, a lot of times the only thing left is for long-term shorts to take profit, and it just sort of glides higher. And I think there was enough L selling in the market that maybe they were just done with AMC. Still down 10%, but that's an impressive bounce, man. $1 from the bottoms. I wish I had held on to my longs.
Look, man, it's really tough to get days off, and I hate missing the market. And there's actually a story where I don't even take any vacation days ever, but now that the Ontario government has sort of mandated that you have to take them, I have to take them. But look at this, man. Huge storm. You guys in Miami might be like, yo, 30-foot waves? That's not that bad. But here, this is a damn lake. Okay, so
that ain't the ocean,
this
man.
Ain't no ocean. This is a lake right here, like a bordered lake. So it's not like, I don't know what exactly is going on, but rare, this is from my wife, she just sent this in, rare and historic.
Look at the line before that, though.
Where?
Lake Ontario could just feel the proverbial wrath of Poseidon. Okay, man, who wrote that? Wrath of Poseidon?
Blog.to. Yeah, maybe this feels like this is like a political campaign here.
The wrath of Poseidon, you're taking it a little too far. Whoever wrote that, like, come on, man.
Hey, man, that's what you got to do when you're in media, man.
It's a big-ass wave, but wrath of Poseidon, really?
Probably not. All right, so there it is. We'll go a little bit of an L there. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet. On that last Tesla, man, we tried it. Didn't work. Again, pretty slow.
It was a big wave.
There. Oh, shoot.
Oh, Imbalances
the market just killed it.
I'm like, why did I just get out of Intel? Because
look at this, Mark. That's what just happened. Man, why were we even in that Tesla trade on that imbalance? But I was going to cancel. I was talking about canceling my orders. There's Airbnb.
2.2 billion to buy. That's what. Amazon 1 million to buy. Apple 1.6
and it was
to
9
buy.
million.
Intel 900,000 to buy. That's why I just got out of Intel. Microsoft to buy 900,000. AMD to buy. CCL to buy. Alphabet. Look, everything's to buy. What's to sell? Nothing. Citigroup.
Bueller.
Citigroup is a sell. There you go. Not even that big. Big buy imbalances. That's exactly what I didn't think was. It was 9 million the early look, and then out of nowhere, like this is Intel. That's me with my trail out, and then it just shoots to the upside. That's why you get out.
I'm sitting there wondering, like, what's going on with Tesla? And I didn't even look at the time. Like, we're too busy talking about Poseidon and everything. But there it is, man. Tesla really ripped up, man, to 126. Like I said, sometimes get out and go long, man. What the hell? Okay, but Airbnb goes up to 85. So, we sat there. This is the trade that we wanted, even though time is running out a little bit for this trade to work as well. Let's see if we can't just make a bunch of money here back, especially if this does flip. Look, we're going to get out at 85, so we need at least 25 cents on this. That would be 84.50. So that's what we're going to look for now, 84.50 on Airbnb. So hopefully that comes in and we'll be able to take a piece out, and then maybe we get even a lower move on this. So I'm just setting it up in case it comes through on a little bit of a flush down here for Airbnb, but so far so good as we'll hold out for it.
Yeah, I'm now out of all my positions. Well, come on, Carvana, why is it still there? Oh, I see what's. You know what? Remember that share issue? It's like I have this thing where every now and then I have to reset all my defaults, and then every stock window has a zero size, and I have to actually type in. But I just punched out a Carvana. I'll take the dub on there. We're happy to get out of it. I just saw a super chat I wanted to get to as well. And we look, obviously, we love everybody. Whether you send a super chat or not, we love everybody in the community. But Miami Beach Broker says Merry Christmas to all of you, wishing a warm, happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Thank you for all you do. You guys rock. You rock. You've been watching for a while. We love you as well. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It's all about enjoying this time of the year, right? Like, it's not, look, it might not be fun to see the market down 2.5%, but when you're trading, there's a lot you can learn from markets moving like this. There's a lot you can profit from the volatility in these markets. And quite frankly, like, everyone's long-term stinks on a day like today. So you might as well enjoy the ride and learn a little bit of something here for active trading. And there was another comment that got in there. Someone was saying it's hard to do some of this on the PDT rule. I get it. You know, obviously we're not trading under that rule, being at a prop floor. We can make lots of executions. But what I will say is, when you do have a restriction on how often you can trade, you've just got to really dial down on what it is and isn't that makes money for you. What setups really do work, and make sure you're not just saying, oh, I usually make money on Apple. No, but what types of setups are you taking? Because when you can't take a lot of trades, you got to be really, really specific, even more specific than we are.
Yeah, exactly. We can have a quick look at the locator one more time here. As thank you again, guys. Just hit the like button. That's it. It's pretty simple. Hopefully you guys can do that. And again, thank you for the super chat. It definitely means a lot to us here. All right, Uber with the sell. We can check out what this name's doing here. Apple still with that big bid. That was obviously a big reason for the $2 billion. But some things have turned around now. CCL, bid still. Microsoft, wow. What a day for Microsoft. It's like just unbelievable that we were long into here. Look where we got out. Like, this could have been, and Microsoft's my worst stock today, and look at this. We got out, and it's still my worst stock because we just had too much risk here at 239 when it dumped back below. Actually, looking at this, it shouldn't be. Oh, it was the 240 area, not the 239. It was the 240 area that we were in trouble, and then when it broke that 239.50, that was the big hit. Yeah, so we made a little bit of money back, and then we said, let's get out of here when it broke back down low, and it came right back into that level again. So watch out for tomorrow. Watch out for some of these key levels, especially if the market holds like to where we are now, and you come in tomorrow and we're still at this like 11,050 here, or 11,1, something like that, or in the NASDAQ 38, or in the S&P 3850. Just look out for some of those tops and bottoms that were made today and trade them accordingly into tomorrow. Okay, now we're going to get a flip over here. So let's watch Apple, see what it does. With only 4 seconds, you're now going to get floor brokers turning some of these around for you. And there it is right now. We'll see what happens on the pair off. So Apple gone. There it is. You see it? Not even there as a bid anymore. So it's not really moving the market. Again, a lot of those
Intel flipped to sell.
Yeah, a lot of these names probably flip the other side. So there it goes.
Microsoft
you know,
sell.
Definitely worth it. Let's watch to see. Now Airbnb is starting to go back down. We talked about getting out at 50. Let's end the day with a good little trade here on Airbnb, or not if it continues to move up. We just went to 68 there. Anyways, Airbnb 85 is my out on this one.
And AMC is still I'll hit this one for you guys. I don't have that many graphics, but one of the 20 that I do have is that one. It's actually going to close. It'll say down 7%, but that's, like, to me, that's deceiving, right? Because at 9:30, you know, the stock at 9:30 was trading at like $4.10. So effectively, as far as I'm concerned, it gets up 20%. If you look at the actual trading action throughout the day. Now, obviously, it closed at 5:30. It was trading 5:30 in the pre-market, so it is down on the session. But that's just an impressive relief rally happening in AMC. I haven't really checked out 8, but this could get to $5. There's not enough time in the day for me to do anything about it. The same way I saw people talk about Micron on the imbalances popping back into 50. It's a time of day thing. Like, that's 351. A lot of times, if we're making that big of a move on a buy imbalance of 2.2 billion overall and everything's a buy imbalance, I'm not really thinking short Micron at the high of the day when everything looked like it was about to break out. So, you know, that level's good, and obviously resistance will be there, and I'm still going to love $50 tomorrow on Micron, but I'm not taking that trade at 352.
Only 3 minutes to go, man. Thank you again for watching. I hope you had some of those big winners that we put on here in the afternoon. Like, look, I'm positive on AMD today and on Apple. Not so positive on Microsoft. Google flat, Meta slightly down, but not really. Tesla down, we've talked about that there. And then everything else pretty good. Nike pretty flat. Ape up on Ape today. And then flat, this is my only trade on Airbnb and looking to do that coming through. So yeah, man, good day. I went on a rant earlier and I said that I don't believe in any of that crap where people say like, you know, you never know. You know, it's Hanukkah's going on. It's Christmas time. There's all this stuff. Is there going to be anything to trade? I mean, you know, at the beginning of the day, didn't look anything like what it looks like now. And in the middle of the day was fantastic opportunities to trade. So you never know what's around the corner, and that's why it's hard for me sometimes to take vacays. But you know, today again, a great opportunity to trade, and I hope a lot of you are able to make money. And if you didn't, hopefully you're able to, you know, at least weather the storm. Like we won't be positive here, but again, as a negative day, it's not like it was much better. Like we were able to make some of that money back. So never give up. Stick with some of your rules. The Apple long there at 130 is like the biggest rule. Just try to be patient and wait for something to develop instead of chasing all of these longs. We talked about how it looks like on the 20 period, and really the only bottom that you could have played off of was 3 days ago when you had that 20. So, you know, something to look at there off of 130. But yeah, if you're here in the Eastern Seaboard anywhere, you know, buckle up. Get ready for tomorrow and tonight. Apparently, it's just going to be a disaster as we have to deal with Poseidon here, and hopefully you guys don't.
Yeah, I'm rushing to my train, to be sure. But in less than 2 minutes, we're going to have the bell ring here. So I'm just saying that really loud so maybe we figure out who's going to be on that bell. I don't mind. I'm flat. I'll go over and ring it. I just need the mallet if I'm going to go ahead and do it. But like, I absolutely love it, guys. I see people talking about AMC and their debt. Sometimes it's not necessarily about the fundamentals. We all understand that. Like AMC made the move upside, not because people think that their situation necessarily is great, but because it was a bit of a relief rally in there. And someone asked what I thought about tomorrow. My gut instinct is Nike was very strong closing at the high of the day, and I love the 118.50 still. I love that level. We might see it tomorrow. But B, this is a kind of relief rally. After that much selling, you might see some bleed back to the upside. That's what you like to see. Like, there's so much capitulation selling on big volume that off of those lows, you can kind of float to the upside sometimes. Sometimes it's about how you finish, not how you start. And I like the way that the market finished here today. So that should be pretty solid. Oh, we've got Katrine on the bell. Fantastic. There we go. So you get a chance to see Katrine doing a fantastic job for us in sales. And the countdown is on. Can't change the bear to a bull, but it was a bull run, at least in the second half of the day. In 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring it.
I was about to fire her, but I don't ever want to fire her.
She had a plan. It was a plan.
From the bell ringing, so that was a good one. Thank you, Miss Katrine, for that. And that ends it out, man. Make sure you don't have any pending orders or stop orders or anything in, especially if you're on your platform or here at Day Trade the World. So there it is, man. It's snowing in Dallas, apparently, as I drop my pen there. So shout out to everybody. Yeah, where's Tony? We wish Tony was still here. He's decided to move on, so we wish the best of luck to Tony. The best part of the bell, he was the best bell ringer of all time with those dances and everything
like that. He's the Michael Jordan of bell ringers.
Unfortunately, he is the Michael Jordan or LeBron James.
No, there's no or.
Of that.
There's no or. The GOAT is Michael Jordan, and we all know that.
Yeah, I think everybody does know that.
Except for Fod.
Thanks, Sky Ferry. I'll miss you guys as well, but you know, we'll be back on Monday, or no, Monday's a day off. We're back on Tuesday. Tuesday. So I'll see everybody on Tuesday. Have a great day. Arun will be here tomorrow, and then you'll have the midday show of the usual guys as well, barring all you able to come in.
That is true.
So you got snow tires on?
You don't want to see. Look, this is what my wife just messaged me.
What was it?
MFH. Because they just closed schools for us as well. So
yeah. I mean, it's my day off. You get to come home. You get to come into work, at least. But yeah, thanks again. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. Again, big shout out to you. I don't know what the likes are at right now, but if you can't hit it, that would be fantastic. I'm going to double check right now.
Hit the 1,100.
1,100. We didn't get that many likes earlier as well. We're only 4,000 watching. But again, thank you so much for everything. It's a tough day. We understand that. But thanks for all your patience. Big shout out to Brendan. Big shout out to Fahad doing the board by himself. Today we did have Randy fill in a couple times.
Thanks for the donuts, Fahad.
As well. Thanks for the donuts. What, throw to Brendan? Okay.
I'm just waiting. Here we go. 1.45 guys for the market, 1.3 for the Dow, 2.5 for the NASDAQ. Fahad, very upset about this. 1.13 here in Toronto. Pretty red though, right across the board. But hey, we bounced. Can it continue tomorrow to the upside?
Fahad's waving his, I know, he's waving his hands over there like, go to Brendan, go to Brendan. I mean, no one wants to know about the markets today.
The market's down, man. If it was up, that's one thing. But
it sucks. It sucks.
What is this, a trading show or something?
Some would think that. Others may not. But okay, oil's down a little bit as well. Yeah, good call on that. That's why we do the review there, so you get all the markets. But hey, guys, 300 points down on the Dow today. The Maple Leafs just get another goal, taking a 3-1 lead on the Philadelphia Flyers right now. So the Leafs going to do good things. Boston is an absolutely crazy team this year. I don't know, we'll have our hands full with them. Okay, guys, for everybody here, thanks again to everybody. We've already said thanks to the Midday Show. Thanks, Fahad, Brendan, everybody. Thanks, Bears vs. Bulls. More importantly, thank everybody who's watching, and be safe if you're caught in this storm. Well, if you're caught, nothing you can do, but try not to get caught, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 8:30. Happy holidays.